Radio. Feel free to call in at any time throughout the day, 941-330-4087. Would love to hear your feedback and comments. As always, download the free TuneIn app and listen to us there. Do a search for 444 Radio. You can listen on BrianGouldShow.com or 444Radio.com. Got Evan and Jay in the studio today. Say hey, Evan.
Hey, Evan.
And say hey, mastermind behind the mayhem.
That's a lot to say, right?
It is.
I say all that.
That's a great nickname for you.
I have my microphone now. Hello? Jesus.
Hello, anybody there?
My mic sounds blown out.
Stop blowing it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Really?
So we got a lot to cover today, guys.
We do.
A ton to cover. College football tonight.
So excited.
Are you ready for some college football?
A game worth of crap? Or?
Oh, yeah, there is.
God damn it.
Shut me off. Oh,
What the hell is going on?
you kicking my...
Oh, God.
kicked my earphones. I can't hear anything, but that's okay.
I'll fix it.
I'll keep
I'm
talking.
stuck.
He's stuck. It's stuck.
It's stuck.
Yeah. Tuck it back in your shorts
I'm
and
telling you,
stop
man.
knocking the wires.
Not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, I'm still off, but that's okay. Tonight, guys, we have number 6 Houston at Cincinnati. Both teams 2-0. There we go. I can hear in one ear.
Houston's going to kill them.
You know what? The over-under 64.5 with Cincy, a 7-point dog.
Only 7 points?
Only 7 points.
Huh.
But
Spit it out.
Yeah, what do you got?
Today, Junior.
Today, Junior.
Houston,
Does that
only
sound familiar
7
for you?
points. Yeah. There we go. Houston, only 7 points. Is that because they're playing a bigger, more reputable team, or is there something that we don't know? Whether somebody coming out of high school to play early or a pro stepping back and wanting to play again? And everyone goes quiet.
That's... Go ahead.
I'm not going to lie to you. Me and Evan are both in fantasy football mode right
Yeah, you guys are way on another screen. Okay, fine. I'm talking to myself.
We can't do that to him. Go ahead, Evan.
No,
ask
it's
again.
All
Brian.
right, okay.
It's cool.
Go
It's
ahead.
cool.
What's the question?
Okay, Houston. Houston's only a 7-point favorite at Cincy because it's a road game. Is it because it's a bigger school, bigger market?
They don't trust Houston yet.
They don't trust him yet. You know what? I like that answer.
Yeah, as we said, it's not until week 4. When they're done playing week 4 is when people are going to actually make their real decisions.
Well, besides Oklahoma, this is Cincinnati's their first true test, really. I mean, Lamar wasn't anybody special, but Cincinnati's one of those teams that you can't turn your head away from. They play well. They play decent. Are they great, phenomenal? No, but they definitely are a team not to shy away from on that schedule. So I'm thinking that's why they're ranked, or not ranked, but favored only by 7. I mean, Cincinnati. Let me take a look at the Bearcats. They're both 2-0, and they just got done beating Purdue. That's why. So with a outstanding win against Purdue, in Purdue against the Boilermakers.
Right.
Again, besides Oklahoma, it's a true test for Houston. So, got to give respect where respect's due. Only a 7-point favorite. You think Houston's going to come in there and walk the dog on these guys, or is it going to be a close game?
The way I've seen Houston play so far in the first couple games, they've been killing it. And game 1 was
Huge.
Was big.
Huge.
I think they beat them pretty handily.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Cincinnati went into Indiana and beat Purdue,
right.
And we all know how you guys feel about the almighty Big Ten. But to go into a Big Ten stadium and get a win is pretty hard and epic to do right now.
The only way I've heard mighty and Big Ten in the same sentence is mighty terrible.
Man, we're not talking about last season.
Oh, that's awesome. I like the way you think right there.
Yeah, whatever. Houston at Cincinnati, 7 points. I like Houston, and for some reason 7 doesn't seem like it's enough. But then again, Cincinnati just went into Purdue and won, so they've proven themselves. Should be a win for Houston. Something's wrong with that 7. And it seems like the Vegas odd makers know something we don't.
Well, there's something new.
Yeah. So I like Houston, but it's got to be double digits. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I don't think these guys are going to win by 15 to 20 points. It might be 10 to 12 at best. Cincinnati will hold their own and hold close. And then tomorrow night's game, Baylor at Rice. Baylor's number 21 in the nation. They are a 31-point favorite right now. Baylor 2-0, Rice 0-2. That's an in-state game. And the over-under on that 65.5. So definitely looking for the over. Baylor will probably put up 40, 50 points by themselves. And you fantasy football players are killing me.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm listening. I am sucked into what you're saying.
Yeah,
Dude, it's your voice.
It's my voice. Should I suck on some helium before we jump
Should
on?
I suck
Oh my
on
God,
some
that'd be
helium?
awesome.
What would you think his it wouldn't it'd be, hi, my name is Brian. And,
You guys are awesome.
we need to. Did you tell Brian that we're getting whippets and we're doing like whippets on the show?
I have not. I don't think he heard that part.
Wasn't that a song? Whip it real good.
Well, I don't know.
I think that was something other whippets going on.
I don't want to know about that either. You guys and your craziness.
You never heard the song from Diva, Whip It?
Yeah, come on now. They had the
Whip
crazy
it
little
real
top
good.
hat things on. You're killing
When
me.
a problem comes along.
You must whip it.
Whip it real good.
Yeah.
Rip it. Whip it real good.
Shape it up. It's not too late.
Well, taking a look at the rest of the college football schedule here,
Whip it.
there's a couple of good games this weekend.
Yeah.
Appalachian State and Miami. App State, 3.5-point underdog at home against Miami. And Appalachian State's for real. I think that's going to be a tough game for Miami. A lot of people are.
Can I ask you a
I
question?
took Appalachian
Sure.
State.
Do either of you know? Hopefully, one of you do. It's a sports show. How long can a team be allowed to mess around in what is it, FBS or FCS, 1AA?
Sorry, guys.
That's real cool.
My God.
Because he's on his fantasy stuff again.
My bad. I got it right here. I got it.
Got it.
Stop pushing. I can just turn it off. I can just turn it off.
Same time.
Jesus crying out loud.
Same time.
So how long? What is it? Is it FCS? Which one's which?
FBS, I believe. It's
Is the-
football. FCS, Football Championship Series. Well, no, it's
Yeah,
football. Now you
The
got
bowl
me-
series. FBS was Division 1.
Right.
I think it's FCS,
FCS.
which is 1AA. How long can they be allowed to do that when they clearly should be a highest level team?
You know what? That's all. Okay, that depends on.
Because that's not fair. If you imagine if Michigan or Florida State was like all of a sudden got to be a 1AA school.
Yeah.
Now, you're not the best, but you would win every freaking year forever.
Well, that goes through a approval process through the NCAA and through the conference itself, and then there's contracts and stuff. And we're actually going to touch upon that because Texas and Oklahoma are making a move, and it's going to shake up the whole Power 5 big time.
Actually, Texas and Oklahoma
Yes, they are moving out of the Big 12.
to the SEC.
No.
Well, then they suck.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Miami at Appalachian State. I wouldn't be surprised if App State actually wins that game. Clemson is hosting.
I would take App State too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that.
I did. I took us even in our thing.
In our pick'em. Clemson at home against South Carolina. Let's see here. We've got Florida State. Big game here at noon. Florida State and Louisville. And Louisville's a 1.5-point dog to Florida State at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. I got to stop doing this. I just totally screwed myself on this. I'm going to go back and fix it later. I am now turning this off. No, I'm not turning it off. I'm going to switch to
We'll come back
ESPN.
to the picks here in a second. Tennessee at home against Ohio.
God damn, I totally wasn't paying attention.
Iowa at home against North Dakota State. Wisconsin at home against Georgia State. Michigan hosts Colorado. Nebraska favored at home against number 22 Oregon. Ole Miss at home against Bama. That'll be a great game there. Auburn at home against Texas A&M. LSU at home against Mississippi State. Florida at home against North Texas. Notre Dame against Michigan State at South Bend. Arkansas hosts Texas State. Missouri at home against Georgia. That'll be a good game. Oklahoma, of course, at home against Ohio State. Stanford at home against Southern Cal. And Washington at home against Portland State. And to close out the top 25, Cal at home against Texas, which will be a really good game as well. Now, let's go back to that There's a couple games that I do want to touch on. Mississippi, Ole Miss at home hosting Bama. Now, Bama has lost to them the last 2 seasons. And
start that whole
Mississippi, Ole Miss is at home against Alabama, okay?
Right.
They beat them the last 2 seasons.
Ole Miss has been beaten.
No, Ole Miss has beat
that's
Bama.
right, beat Alabama the last 2 years in a row.
Ole Miss, the players that are still on that team from last season and maybe the last 2 seasons.
Right, there are a bunch.
Okay, there's quite a few. They're not looking at this as an upset. They beat that team.
That's right.
They're expecting to beat the team. They're not expecting to upset the team. That's the mentality with those guys.
The way they look
right
at it
now.
is they own them.
Yeah, no, we're beating you.
Yeah,
we're,
a lot of those guys have
beat
never
you.
lost to them.
We're 2-0. A couple of them, and a handful of them are 1-0. We already beat you. We know how to beat you. Ole Miss, Mississippi, is an 11-point underdog at home.
Right.
To a team that keeps saying week in and week out by the head coach that we have stuff to work on. Bama go in there and destroy these guys, or is Bama going to win a close game, or is Bama going to lose a close game?
Bama loses that game by 6 points.
By 6 points.
I took Ole Miss also on ours because I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm telling you, Ole Miss is where to go.
Another good game that I like on the board, obviously, is the Florida State-Louisville game. If Louisville walks away with a win, then that'll shake up the whole top 5, definitely. With Louisville winning, if Louisville beats a number 2 Florida State, number 10 beats number 2, do they get in the top 5 with a win like that? Do they leapfrog people based on that win?
Well, if you're going to take out number 2,
yes,
after you've been playing great so far this year,
because how it's going to go is Bama's at 1. If Bama, heaven forbid, if Bama wins,
right?
Florida State loses. Does Louisville leapfrog everybody and is now the second best team in the nation, or do you got to put Ohio State there? Yeah, I know those bad words.
Well, no, this all depends on how the games go.
If it's lopsided, it's 44-10. Louisville wins. Not likely, but if it's lopsided, where do you put Louisville?
Well, that at that point will decide. That will all be decided on how Ohio State did.
Ohio State has a very, very tough game against a very good and I think underrated Oklahoma team. Oklahoma hosts Ohio State, and here's the interesting stat for you here. Ohio State will make its first trip to Norman since 1983, this week against Oklahoma. Ohio State has won a school record 18 straight road games, all since Urban Meyer took over.
Yep.
The longest active winning streak in college football right now. The Buckeyes haven't lost a true road game since 2011's regular season finale at Michigan.
I wish.
Are they going into Oklahoma and winning this game?
I don't think Oklahoma's that good. But I don't think Ohio State's that good either. I think it's going to be close, and I can see Ohio State winning. I think either way, it's good for. Either way, that's good for the Cardinals because they're going to go ahead, and I think they get the W, and they jump Ohio State at that point. I think Louisville beats Florida State. Ohio playing Ohio State playing Oklahoma. Oklahoma at least keeps it close. What the hell, Jesus! Oklahoma.
I love your phone between the vibrating and the da 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 da.
Tell him, Brian. Yell at him about all that.
I think Oklahoma at least keeps it close. Therefore, I think Ohio State gets jumped. And that's if Ohio State wins.
Ohio State's
I think Oklahoma's not good.
Ohio State's a 2-point favorite right now.
Yeah, but I know, and okay, that's pretty much an even. Call it even. You flip
Call it even, yeah. And you know what? If
I hope Oklahoma wins that game, and I can't stand Oklahoma, but I hate Ohio State.
I hate Ohio State naturally because I'm a Wolverine fan. I'd love to see the Big Ten represent, but it unfortunately sucks that it's Ohio State. I'd rather see someone else in there representing the Big Ten. But I need Ohio State to lose. I really do. I need them to lose badly. Southern Cal and Stanford's on the board. Stanford's a 9-point favorite at home, and that's an in-state rival game, obviously conference rival game. Southern Cal, this is a must-win for these guys. to stay somewhat relevant in that Pac-12. And I had earlier picked on earlier in the season I didn't have Stanford there. I believe I had UCLA winning the Pac-12, and it's an important game for Stanford because they're sitting at 7. They need a win like this at home to stay relevant in the top 10. Can Southern Cal go in there and upset these guys?
No,
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so.
And then my last favorite game is Michigan State at Notre Dame.
Michigan State.
Notre Dame 8-point favorite at home.
Right.
Their key receiver Torrey Hunter Jr., the baseball player's
Yep.
son, just came off of a concussion and he's trying to play. I don't think it's smart. You need him for a marquee game like this, but I don't think it's smart.
I think this is cut and dry. I don't think Notre Dame has anything this year. Once again, I think they're way overrated. The only thing they're going to have going for them is they're playing at home. They've played last week was a better game, depending on how you want to look at it. Michigan State stomps them.
You know, Michigan State looked human, if you will, in their first game, and they're coming off a bye week, so they have no momentum going into this game. But
they sat around. They sat around last week going, "Man, people are making fun of us. We did look human.
Right?
They got to go ahead and watch that Notre Dame game live, which they did. Then they got to go over it all week long, and they're like, "This team sucks. We can kill these guys, and we have to show the world that we should be number 12."
Well, what I don't like is
look at this. He makes fun of me.
What I don't like is Michigan State has that bye week because they haven't had a chance to work out kinks in a second game, and that makes me nervous on their behalf.
You don't think they were working it out the entire?
No,
I do.
You don't get a chance to see what you're missing, not off of one game, and you're playing a very good Notre Dame team at home that loves to run up scores quick. And they don't like hanging with you. I mean, it's
run
the
up
night
scores
game.
quick. What's the most points they scored this week?
In general.
In
general. Now, I'm not talking about this season, but just in general.
I can't remember Notre Dame running up scores.
Oh, it's a
ever.
night game, man. If they can run it up, they will.
They better all be on their knees,
and
praying to whatever make believe person they think,
and
hope for the best.
One of their Catholic angels.
Yeah, there better be somebody giving out special mouth hugs to try to get stuff done quicker.
Lots of mouth hugs in that one.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I want to touch on.
I bet you do.
Touch it. Yeah. How appropriate is that?
Touch it.
How I missed yesterday's Wednesday waste list. Now, what coaches?
Yeah, we sat here waiting for Brian to get here, and he didn't show up to do his show.
Up.
Yeah,
so
well, when you sit here,
we threw a replay on.
When you sit here at 5:00 in the afternoon, and I was supposed to be here, at 11, and you weren't, then that kind of happened. So, anyways, Wednesday's waste list is today.
Dick.
We're gonna do in the later part of the show another segment called. Would You Rather? And then, of course, it's Thursday, so we'll do our Thursday throwback. So get out your pens and paper for later.
Nice.
Wednesday's waste list, what coaches are and are not getting it done. And I want to talk about a couple coaches that, after 2 weeks, are finding a way to get it done. And then, of course, the waste part is the ones that need to figure some crap out now, or else they might be looking for a new job either by the end of the season or by next season. Arkansas's gutsy end-around reverse pass on a 2-point conversion versus TCU in Week 2 to tie the game with a minute to go. I thought the coaching staff made a really good call, gutsy call there, which ended up leading to a double overtime win against TCU.
I love that it's always gutsy as long as it works.
As long
if
as
it doesn't work,
isn't it funny how that works out?
He'd definitely be on the loser side for you right now.
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Yep. Georgia Tech coach Paul Johnson made a good call to pass on 4th and 19 in the fourth quarter against Boston College, which ended up being the go-ahead touchdown. So, again, another good gutsy call there.
Right there. I don't think that's gutsy. I think you have no choice. Sometimes you have to make crazy decisions like that because you've got no choice. Is that a gutsy call? No. I think he was out-coached. I think their team got beat. And I think the only way they had a chance was to go ahead and throw something ridiculous like that, which allowed them to get where they're supposed to be.
Do you think at that point it's gutsy, or is you just don't have confidence in your defense to get the ball back?
I don't. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
No confidence whatsoever. They said, "Hey, we're going to lose this anyway, so let's try wherever we can to go ahead and take
it
a
up
crazy."
there. Let's go.
And there's there are people There are people out there who believe in you never punt the ball. You always go for first and down. First down. No matter. I know that's a big way that some guys in high school and some colleges that refuse to take to punt the ball.
Oh, I'm one of those
because
coaches.
when you do the numbers, it comes out that your chances of actually doing better without punting is better, and I think it came down to that. He's like, look, I punt this ball, we're never going to touch it again, and there's no way my defense is getting this done.
I used to do that on my first day.
Did you see the story about the percentage on the fourth downs and why teams should actually almost always go for it on fourth down?
Oh, yeah, it's a ridiculous
I'm sure
stat.
it's got to be, 30%?
Like if it's under 4th and 3, it's something like 4th and 1 is like an 80% shot you're going to make it.
Because those knuckleheads
90%.
run the ball, and I hate that. If it's 4th and inches, they're expecting the run. I mean, granted, you might have
If it's
a
4th
power...
and inches, quarterback sneak almost gets it every time.
Right.
Almost, yeah. I mean, realistically, it's one extra down, so why not? I mean, in this case, Georgia Tech, the coach, Paul Johnson, either had to give away the game because he's punting it and doesn't think he's going to get the ball back.
Either way,
or
he
he's
conceded.
got-
Either way, it was conceded.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're going to concede it and still kind of have an outside chance of winning, or at least getting what you need, then do it that route.
Right,
and that's
right.
exactly what it was. Now, is that a good call?
Obviously,
I
it
guess
is
because
now.
he called it.
Pulled it off, yeah.
So, I mean, they didn't have to do that, so he went that route.
Texas A&M's offensive coordinator Noel Mazzone goes for a 4th down and goal on the goal line to take a Week 1 win against UCLA. Another good call there. And then, of course, Alabama's offensive coordinator Lane Kiffin and head coach Nick Saban allowing freshman Jalen Hurts an opportunity to redeem himself after losing a fumble in the first quarter against USC. Obviously, with 4 touchdowns later, USC lost 52-6. So another good call by a coach to
Now, here's
let
the thing
him
with that.
stick around.
Here's the thing with that. Is it a good call with a coach? Okay, take that, whatever. But just strictly a coaching aspect, you've got to get somebody like that back on the horse immediately, because if you don't, you lose the player 100%.
Well,
and is it more important to lose the game, or maybe even or that play, or maybe even the game, but you still have him in the back pocket, knowing that he still has your trust and he's still going to get you out
when
there?
he fumbles the ball the way that he did, their other quarterback could have stayed and probably won that game too. Whether
Right.
he would have, brought up as many touchdowns or not is, a whole different story. But
You got to show him that you got their back.
But Kiffin definitely helped make that decision for Nick Saban, and Nick Saban took the credit for it. Now, my waste list. These are the knuckleheads.
Nick Saban?
These are the knuckleheads that
Kiffin?
made some horrible calls. Clemson's coach Sweeney. The Tigers have won their last 2 games by 6 points each and have dropped in the rankings. He has to make some changes. It's a waste. You are the second best team in the nation, quote unquote, and you're dropping in the rankings for the last week at least. Oklahoma State's whole.
Is Clemson out playing this week?
Yeah, they are. They're at home. Oh, we touched on that already. Clemson is at home against South Carolina State.
Yeah, that should. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be an automatic win for them. But the way they've been playing,
No, it shouldn't. No.
I mean, the way they've been playing,
Yeah, they might win by 5 this time instead of 6, maybe 7. Who knows? Oklahoma State's whole coaching staff I put on the waste list. 1, for not being able to close out Central Michigan.
Right.
Okay. 2, granted that play shouldn't have happened, but 2, they should have
tell me what I said.
They should have not given the Chippewas the possibility or chance to be in the game
Right.
for that play to happen altogether. So I'm giving the whole coaching staff from
And
Oklahoma
even
State.
one more thing, even worse, like we said the other day, they should have known the play, they should have known the ruling, and they should have been able to talk to the refs about it.
There you go. That's
100%.
the third aspect.
No matter what you want to say,
the coaching staff
bitch and moan either way,
should have
the
jumped in
coaching
there.
staff is supposed to know the rules themselves.
Yep.
And then say, guys, that's wrong on the rules, and this
Yeah.
is why.
That play
And that's
should-
totally allowed.
The play shouldn't have happened. So I blame Oklahoma State for all of it.
Actually, I would have fired somebody. Somebody had to be fired for that. I mean, I think you fire somebody for that.
Yeah.
But you can't let that go. You have to know you are the coaching staff of a major university. You have to be up, current, and knowledgeable of the damn regular rules.
On everything. Yeah.
I mean, you need to know the rules. Because this isn't some like obscure, crazy rule that happens like once every 100 years. This could happen No, because technically this could happen every game.
It could, but it hasn't probably happened in 100 years.
It's been a while, but
I've never heard of it except for at the NFL level. There was a play many moons ago, and I remember the old coach from that 4-Pete for the Buffalo Bills. What was his name? Levy?
Oh, the Buffalo Bills that lost 4 in a row?
He had a situation where...
I don't remember his name, though.
Long
The
story...
coach?
Marv?
Yeah, it's Marv Levy.
Marv
Yeah,
Levy, thank you. A half, it was the first half, I believe, ended on a penalty, and it can't end on a penalty without the opposing team getting an opportunity to get the ball. And the penalty was on a field goal, and the other team got the ball and actually scored off of the penalty. So more or less kind of the same concept, but different principles, I guess, when it comes to the penalty. Another wasteful coach here, Texas Tech's defensive coordinator David Gibbs allows his defense to give up 68 points to a mediocre Arizona State team. 8 touchdowns to a lousy offense that has to be literally one of the worst defensive showings of all times. You gave up 8 touchdowns to a mediocre, at best, Arizona State team. And then that rounds out the waste list there. And I've got a kind of on-the-fence honorable mention is Appalachian State. Coach Scott Satterfield, you have to make us believers, man. You gotta beat Miami. If not, then you go on the waste list where you honestly don't belong. You've got a good team. Beat Miami. So either they're going to end up on the waste list for next week, or they're...
What if they lose by 2? In Miami. Yep. Is that on waste list?
You lost.
It's Appalachia State. They don't
Right.
have the guns everybody else does.
I think they do.
They're bringing knives to a gunfight. I mean, that's what's going on, and they're still getting it. Well, not getting it done, but they're still in the fight. I mean, there are people on the other side that are dead after that fight.
They might be bringing shanks instead of actual knives. I don't know.
Whatever it takes, man.
All right, we're going to touch on the SEC announced their schedule for next week, and then we'll take a
can't
break.
wait for
So I
that.
want to touch
For
on
next
this.
year.
Yeah, for next year. So I want to grab this real quick. Some key marquee matchups. You can get the full schedule on my website, briangouldshow.com. I've got everything up there along with everything else that we're talking about today. Week 2, Alabama versus Florida State, and that's going to be in Atlanta. The is that 1 year too late?
For both of them?
Yeah. Because you've got 1 and 2 right now, and depending on how everything pans out this season, let alone draft picks and everything else,
It'll still be a big game, though.
it'll be a big game, absolutely. And I feel that some of these games end up being 1 season too late. I wish I could see that now. We might see that now.
Well, that's good. There's always a chance that you see the good teams that you want to see. You know, but to say that it's a year late, I don't think so. I think it's
unfortunate because I'd love to see it now because they're 1 and 2 respectfully.
But no, because they're going to come out. No matter how this year comes out, they're going to come out in the top 25. So it's going to be a top 25
It'll be
team.
a top 25 versus top 25.
And that's the first game of the year?
Week 2. This is
week
2.
Dude, they're putting these week 2s up.
Yeah. Week 2, Florida versus Michigan at Arlington. At Cowboy Stadium. 100,000 people plus.
Wow.
Let's
Florida
go.
by 30.
Florida by 30.
Florida by 17 trillion.
I said football, not Parcheesi here, okay?
Now on your thing, where the hell is my? I'm trying to look this up on you.
Go to the Twitter feed. Actually, it should be on the main page too, right? Right towards the bottom.
All right.
News,
right beyond
current news.
The hot asses.
Above that.
All right, keep going. No, I'll find it.
Okay. It's
thank you though.
I'll tell you right. Yeah, just hit the Twitter feed on the top right.
Gotcha. Twitter feed.
The next big game on week 2, Texas A&M at UCLA. That'll be a good game. Florida A&M at Arkansas. LSU versus BYU. That'll be a good game as well. App State at Georgia.
To start, or
that's week 2.
Week 2. And what was the one before that?
LSU and BYU.
Oh, yeah, that's not a big game.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
I mean, it's a good out of conference game, but it's not. That's.
And then scooting down a little bit further, Tennessee versus Georgia Tech. That's in Atlanta.
Well, they'll both be mediocre teams. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
TCU at Arkansas.
Okay.
Let's see here. Jumping down. I'm just combing through trying to find some good matchups. Purdue and Missouri. Big Ten versus SEC. That'll be a pretty decent game. Ole Miss at Cal.
That'll be interesting.
Yes. Let's see here. Further down, September 23rd. Syracuse and LSU. Florida, Kentucky. Texas A&M versus Arkansas. That'll be at Arlington. That'll be all right. Ole Miss and Bama, September 30th. Let's see here. Vandy at Florida. That'll be a good game for Florida. Good test at home. Later on down the road here, we have Florida LSU, of course.
Of course, yeah, that's almost every year.
Big game. I'm trying to find a couple other notes. Let's see here.
I know. I wish I could help you out here. I just for some reason I can't find it.
Hit the refresh button up at the top.
Oh, okay.
See if that helps you out.
Bang.
He doesn't know how to work technology.
It's okay.
I know, right? Should be in your Twitter feed, right?
Yeah.
Twitter, right there. Oh, here we go.
Bingo.
Bang. Call now, 941-330-4087.
Got clickety-clicker over there. Click.
Click. I know, he's killing me. I had to put it down. I wasn't paying attention. I totally screwed myself. I've got to go back and redo everything.
My bad. I'm over here working. I apologize profusely.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's...
For now, I guess that's the most notable matchups. I mean, there's probably...
Those are some really good ones to start off.
A couple of them that I missed somewhere, I'm sure. I had a few of them picked out, but there you go for the most part. Michigan and Florida hooking it out, man.
Dude,
I can't wait.
That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be great.
Florida by 30.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, after the break, we're going to talk some hockey news. World Cup of Hockey has been going on. Tournament kicks off this weekend. Some really awesome
USA
games
played.
last night. They did play the night before, and I want to touch on that,
Yep.
too. We'll be right back. This is the Brian Gould Show, Sports Edition.
Live from Body Mind Wellness Center Studios in Sarasota, Florida. This is 444 Radio.
Hey guys, how we doing? This is Evan from the Bean and Soup Bed Show. I'm here with Rita from J Dubs Brewing Company, and we're in studio. How are we doing today, Rita?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. Hey, I know you have a fantastic brewery over there. Please tell me a little bit about it.
The brewery itself has a tasting room. It has 10 tap lines, so you can find anything that you want, from a light to a dark flavor.
So whatever you like, you can get it?
Absolutely, we got a flavor for you.
Perfect. Also, tell me a little bit about the beer garden I've been hearing so much about.
We got a big backyard out back. We're kid-friendly, we're dog-friendly, so you can come bring your family and friends and just have a good time, play some games, and drink some beer.
Excellent. And then you guys got food?
Absolutely. We got food trucks every day around 5 o'clock. We're open Wednesday through Sunday, noon to midnight.
Excellent. Hey, I hear a rumor that you guys do something cool over there on Wednesdays.
We do. We have free yoga on Wednesday evening starting at 6:30. Come hang out and drink a beer and stretch it out.
And that sounds like a great way to spend a Wednesday, I'll tell you. It's 1215 Mango Avenue, Sarasota, Florida, 941-955-2739. And what about social media?
Go to jdubsbrewing.com and you'll find everything right there.
You guys are by far the best brewery in town, and we're proud to have you guys as our sponsor. Come on out there, have a drink with us, and we'll sit around and have a good time.
Cheers, guys.
Evan, we've lived here 6 months and this bathroom still looks terrible. You're supposed to help me remodel it by now.
I know. You just know how busy I am, though.
Busy? We've got to get this done. If I can't do it because I don't have time and you don't have time, what are we going to do?
I know who to call.
Hello, my name is Stephen Dennis. I own a business here in town called Needaman2 LLC. My email address is needaman2@gmail.com. My number is 941-232-2776. Again, that's 941-232-2776.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
What a great idea.
This is Chuck from the BS Show. I wanted to take some time to talk about a great charity organization, the Honor Flight. This organization flies our veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit those memorials dedicated to honor the service and sacrifices of themselves and their friends. Please come out and drink some beers at Hurricane Mike's on the last Saturday of every month from 1 to 6. Hurricane Mike's has a guest bartender at each event, 50-50 raffles, liquor baskets, and silent auctions. The bartenders even donate all the tips they make that day. Hurricane Mike's is located at 2639 Mall Drive in Gulfgate. Last month, Hurricane Mike's raised over $1,100 for the Honor Flight. From everyone here at 444 Radio and Hurricane Mike's, we want to thank you for your support of our vets. How you doing? This is Chuck from the BS Show. I would like to tell you about a great company, Sarasota Sign Machine, LLC, the exclusive sign and print sponsor for 444 Radio. A sign of quality you can trust, located at 601 North Washington Boulevard, celebrating 6 years in business and over 20 years of experience in Sarasota. If you need signs, banners, vehicle magnets, custom design, neon repair, business cards, printing, and more, trust the Sarasota Sign Machine. Look, let's be honest, you have so much more to think about when running your own business. Call us at 941-302-4275. Check us out on Facebook or at sarasotasignmachine.com. A sign of quality you can trust. Tell them the BS Show sent you.
Hey, this is Paulie from the BS Show. When I'm out and about, having too many, it happens to us all, there's only one cab service I call. It's my ride. 941-400-6606. No more 3-time surcharges. No more drivers that don't speak English, don't know where you're going. They pick you up, they take you home safely, clean cars. They're professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. And when you're riding with my ride, don't forget to mention the BS Show, 20% off your ride. Chucky, on occasion, will have too much.
Not me, Paul.
These guys are the best. They're what you want to call. They will take care of you. 941-400-6606. My ride. It's not your ride. It's not his ride.
My ride.
It's my ride.
So, Evan, you want to make the other announcement? I know you're excited and happy.
We do have a fantastic new sponsor, absolutely. We are now very lucky to have Rico's Pizza as a sponsor for us. 6547 Gateway Avenue in Gulf Gate. They're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. They've been there 17 years. Jump anywhere. Online, ricospizza2go.com. Give them a phone call at 941-922-9604. We did find out today that you mentioned the 444 Radio or the BS Show from 444 Radio. You will get 20% off your tab. Give them a phone call, guys, 941-922-9604 or ricospizza2go.com.
Hello, this is Captain Sherman of Paradise Boat Tours, and if you're looking for a great adventure on our beautiful local waters, then we are the boat tour for you. Check out our website at seadolphins.com. We leave 7 days a week from Bradenton Beach Pier on beautiful Anna Maria Island. It's fun for the whole family, and yes, we see wild dolphin 95% of our tours. Paradise Boat Tours. Call us at 941-465-8624. Like us on Facebook or go to seadolphins.com. Here, Flipper.
Hey, everybody. This is Paul and Chucky from the BS Show. Whenever I feel like going out, having a few drinks, relaxing, there's only one place that I go.
It's Hurricane Mike's, Paul.
Oh, that's right. And you're with me, kid.
Yep, 2639 Mall Drive. They got the best staff in town, great local owners, 20 TVs, drink specials every day and every night. Free pool Sunday, Monday, Wednesday nights. It's my personal favorite bar here in Sarasota.
And mine too, Chucky.
Come down and see us.
Just remember, Chucky, you can't drink all day.
Unless you start in the morning, Paul.
And tell them the BS Show sent you.
Gulfgate, Sarasota, it's time to eat, and there's only one place to go. Ham Heaven and Devil Dogs, 2647 Mall Drive in Gulfgate. Try the one-of-a-kind filet mignon sliders, or the award-winning Reuben sandwich, voted best in the state of Florida. Ham Heaven and Devil Dogs is open Monday through Saturday till 3 a.m. So after the bars close, you can get some of the best food in Sarasota. Call in and place your order today at 941-923-2514. That's 941-923-2514. Check them out online at hamheavenanddevildogs.webs.com or on facebook.com/HH&DD.
We're back. This is the Brian Gould Show Sports Edition here on 444 Radio. We got Murdoch in the studio now.
Hey!
He is talking about Metro haircuts and Tim Tebow and stuff.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
Look, no one said that Tim Tebow was the new Bruce Jenner.
Not yet.
He's not gay. His haircut is.
Hey,
I like the haircut.
Liar.
Okay, I don't.
No, you don't.
Hang on here.
Guys, World Cup of Hockey has kicked off. We had some pre-tournament games over the past week or so. Tuesday night, Team USA defeated Finland 3-2. It was a really good game. I watched that game. USA goes up 3-0 quick and looked phenomenal. Jonathan Quick was in the pipes and looks great. He's going to be our starter moving forward. Eventually, Team USA gave up 2 late goals in the third. Finland made it look like they were going to actually come back and hang with us there, but we got a little lax. But Team USA is quick. They're hungry. They're aggressive. Lane and Jokinen scored for Finland. Those guys, I feel bad for them because they were pretty much the whole team the whole night. It was like 2-on-12. It felt like most of the night for those guys. Oshie, Kessler, and Stepan all got goals for Team USA. USA's next game is the opening of the tournament. They play against Team Europe on Saturday. Finland opens up against Team North America on Sunday. For those of you that don't watch it, man, it's great hockey. It's very Olympic-esque. Clicky McClickerson over there.
He's like, I hate you.
Click, click, click. There we go. Last night, there was a few games that were really, really good. The Czech Republic played North America, and the
played who?
Yeah, Czech Republic. Czech Republic played North America.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's Clicky McClickerson.
Oh,
Good stuff.
And the
wait. How do you play North America?
For the players that don't make Team Canada and Team USA, they form
their own crappy team.
Yes.
Just overlooked.
More or less, yeah. And the Czech Republic won last night 3-2. Team Europe played the Sweden team, and of course Europe donkey tromped them 6-2. A couple cool things happened in that game. I saw part of that. A hat trick out of Leon Dristali, plays for the European team. He scored in the first, second, and third, so it was an unnatural hat trick, but it was cool to see my boy Thomas Tatar for Team Europe get in there and get a goal too. He plays for the Red Wings. If you
do you have to do a hat trick all in one?
For it to be natural, it's all in one period. Unnatural, or to have just a regular hat trick is throughout the whole game.
Is his cousin steak tartare?
Almost. And Ansi Kopitar scored a goal. Patrick Hornquist scored one as well. Really good high-scoring game, which is kind of rare for these games because it's very fast-paced, very crash and burn. A lot of physical play in these games, too. The Czech Republic did beat North America. For you Tampa Bay Lightning fans, your boy Andre Palat scored in the first period. And pretty much the game was slowed down after that. The rest of the scoring all happened in the third. If you want any of the scores or the schedule, you can find them on my website, briangouldshow.com. You can actually watch some of the live games through a feed right off of the link there. Canada played Russia, which was the highlight of the night. I watched that whole game. That was an excellent game. Very, very physical because these are supposed to be exhibition going into the tournament, and these two teams did not hold any punches back. Actually went into overtime. Patrice Bergeron scored the first goal in the first period for Team Canada. Ovechkin and Panarin lit it up for Team Russia. Tavares scored late in the third for Team Canada, and it's a very, very pretty goal. Ryan Getzlaf scores in overtime on a breakaway pass. You can find that.
The Russians win.
No. Team Canada wins. Ryan Getzlaf scores.
Getzlaf? That's not
Russian.
Canadian dude, huh?
That's Canadian, yeah. He plays for the Ducks.
Huh?
He's captain over there.
Wouldn't have said that. I would have thought the other way, right?
No.
Yeah, it's on a very Borscht-like.
No, but you can see the goal on my Twitter feed or briangouldshow.com. Very, very pretty goal. He gets a pass to him just before the blue line skates in and goes 5-hole on the goalie and puts Russia away. That was a very physical game, a lot of hitting. Team USA has been playing a little bit that way as well. That game that we played against Canada last week, we beat them 4-2, and that was a slugfest. There was a fight after the game was over.
Well, that's my kind of game.
Yeah. So if you want some great high-speed physical hockey, definitely check out the World Cup of Hockey. Tournament play starts on Saturday, and again, you can get the schedule, scores, and watch some of the live feed right off my website, briangouldshow.com. Now, moving on to baseball. Baseball has been little crazy the last couple days. If you haven't been paying attention, your boys, the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're a Mets fan, then you definitely start signing up for your playoff tickets now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole wild card thing is just a joke for them. I think they're cruising right in. Whoever they get to play in the wild card,
they're going to beat to death.
They're going to beat the snot out of them.
Yep.
And getting to the wild card standings right now as we speak. Last night there were some good games. Tigers won last night, which we needed badly. We're still sitting a game out of the wild card, but Toronto lost and is on a 2-game skid. Also, Boston lost for you. Baltimore and sitting out of the playoffs, not going to make it. Tampa Bay Rays fans. So Boston's still leading in the East, Cleveland in the Central, Texas in the West. Baltimore and Toronto are sitting in the wild card spot with Detroit just 1 game back. Seattle a game and a half, and the Yankees lose again. So they're not finding a way. Houston finally gets a win. They needed it bad. And I'd count Kansas City out now. There's 17 days to go, and they've lost 3 in a row.
That praying mantis did it to him.
Gonzo. Yeah, it hurt, man.
Stupid bug.
And if you
when you need something like that, chances are you're in trouble anyway.
Yeah, you know you're in a bad place when the bug dies a week before the push. Should take an omen. Call a priest, get a live.
What do they call that? A canary, right? They put the canary in the cave.
I would like to know how it actually died.
Because
somebody stepped on it. Somebody stepped on it. You know it.
Died from lack of chance.
Somebody sat or stepped on it.
And I've been playing some daily fantasy baseball over on FanDAction.com.
Oh, yeah.
I lost to Pete yesterday, but I beat him the day before, and I didn't get to frickin' brag about it yesterday. So I won a few bucks yesterday, and I played it yesterday's games,
now,
and he beat my socks off.
If I remember correctly, don't you get like free $5 just for signing up?
Last month you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all of August you did. September, they don't have a promotion out right now, but yeah, you got a free $5 to play it for all of August, so I used it, and I actually beat Pete's pick
How much
on Tuesday. I took the $5 and I played, and it tripled to $14.80 or
wow.
$15.80, and then I played yesterday, and now I'm down to $4.80. So I lost some money. Pete knows what the hell he's doing. So if you guys want to play some great daily baseball and now football, go to FanDAction.com and sign up there and play. You can find the link and the banner on my website, BrianGouldShow.com. Over in the National League, the Washington Nationals are still leading in the East there. They are up, looking at it here, 10.5 over the Mets. So I don't see the Mets catching them with 17 days to go.
I know, and I can't.
It sucks.
Now they're up 10.5. I'm like, damn it. Where the hell's it going?
Forget it. Chicago Cubs have clinched the Central, and they have 93 wins. I'm sure they'll cruise right into the 100-win mark. I don't see why they wouldn't at this point. The Dodgers over in the West with sitting there. San Francisco loses 3 in a row. Mets, unfortunately, lost last night to Washington head-to-head. So, I mean, not to say it's over for the division.
Yeah, that's a 1 point.
Now you got to just focus on the wild card and making it. St. Louis sitting a half game out still. And they're still just hanging there. They lost to the Cubs, and they got whipped by the Cubs last night, 7-0.
St. Louis has an interesting series coming up with San Francisco.
They do.
And St. Louis, they play at home, and their record is what it is. On the road, they have the best road record in baseball. St. Louis does.
They do.
They do.
They can't win at home, but they have the best. You're right.
And now they're playing a San Francisco team that is really struggling in that bullpen. Man, it's rough to watch. It's like Boston, but a National League version of it. You've got great starting pitching, but when you get past that sixth inning, you're in a bad place.
Well, the reason why I say that the Mets are going to cruise in, and it's because of that right there, because St. Louis is going to go into San Francisco and destroy them, and the Mets are going to move up a spot. Now they've got St. Louis on their heels and in a possible wild card playoff spot.
If St. Louis is going to do their historical,
and
legacy rub of the genie lamp, it's going to be on this trip. I think they win and lose on this trip. I think it's a 4-game series as well with San Francisco. It's a big deal. We'll see what they have in the tank.
I see them taking the series 3-1. I think San Francisco's good for at least one win somewhere, just a doofer, because I like doofers. Yeah. I'd like to say a sweep, but somewhere in there they've got to be good for a doofer. If not, it's a sweep. And the Mets move up, and now they can look at the good old Cardinals and say, "Hi, welcome to the playoffs."
Oh, let's not say that too quick.
No, well, it's there.
Cardinals scare me no matter what happens.
If you're a Mets fan, you're happy because you're moving up, but now you got the Cardinals to deal with instead of San Francisco.
Realistically, the way we're playing, I don't care. It's not going to make a difference. It's just who do you feel more comfortable playing, and that's all.
I'd rather play San Francisco in a one-game playoff than St. Louis.
St. Louis knows how to get done.
Yes, that's why.
That's why we keep saying. That's why we keep talking about them. That's why I keep,
And you know what really stinks? So, hypothetically, St. Louis sweeps 3-1, whatever the scenario is in that series. Mets would host St. Louis, and St. Louis is the best road team. You'd almost want to tank a game just so you don't have to play at home against them. I'd rather go to St. Louis.
I think no matter what, my Mets want to be at home. It won't matter. It doesn't matter who's coming in there.
I think it does. I think it does.
I think just mentally, have your team behind you, have your fans behind you, have your friends in the stands watching you, have your family there. I agree. Regular season, you're right, but once that one game season, it makes no difference.
It does now.
You want to be at home. You want to.
Yeah, you want that. You want that home field.
Because one little thing goes right, and you get pumped up because people go crazy. So that 10th guy out there helping you out, screaming and yelling, makes a big
deal. I don't know, man. The Cardinals are proven on the road. There's no lie in stats.
That's
man.
right. No problem. Cardinals make it to the World Series last year.
Well, the lying in stats, there can be some that are a bit exaggerated. Look at Washington. Washington has that record, but they earned that record earlier in the year. Now they are. And
you also have to have it's baseball. You have to have a short memory, but it can be on things you want to think about. Like we did go to the the Mets did go to the World Series last year. We are one of the hottest teams in baseball right now.
And there's my angle.
We do have the best pitching staff in baseball right now. We have been playing fantastic, and now 1-game series. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You are not the best of anything so far. Now you can just look at what we do have.
Sure, closing the season strong. The Mets look better than Washington does. They're playing better than the Nats are now.
Yes.
So that 10.5 games, 13.5 games could be 24.5 games. When you hit that reset button, it's how you go into the postseason. And they're making some noise. That number's moving.
Right.
The Mets money line is making.
And
a big
the
move.
Mets are going to. They are going to be the wild card probably, but it's going to be that gap is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger for having to worry about anybody even coming up behind them. So
17 days, man.
That's
I
all
don't
right.
know.
I'm telling you because
it's not much of a gap.
Even if they take 2/3 of it, doesn't matter at this point. And they're not going to. They're going to take probably 70%, 70 some odd. I can see them taking 70% of the games.
Well, I just tweeted on that right there. We're talking MLB playoff picture right now, guys. Feel free to call in 941-330-4087. I'd like to get some feedback. Would you rather play at home against the best road team in baseball, or would you rather go to St. Louis in a 1-game playoff scenario? My gut tells me I'd rather go to St. Louis and take my chances.
No way.
I know you hate hearing that, but man, I don't know. It's
never. When in doubt, have your when in doubt, have your crowd on your side.
How's that working?
When in doubt, have your crowd on your side because having 60 some odd thousand people going crazy for you really gets your blood pumping, and it just does something different to you. There's a difference. There's a reason why there's home and away games. There's a reason why the winner gets home field advantage. That is the reason.
Unless it's St. Louis.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I'm superstitious like that. If you've got the best road team and you got to host them,
right? But they're only the best road team in regular season. That means nothing in postseason.
When it's a 1-game playoff,
means nothing. It's a 1-game season.
Man.
That means The only thing that matters at that point is how do you feel about yourself? How hot are you right now? How is your team performing fantastically? And do I have my people asses in the seats right there? That's what I'm looking for.
You got to have all of those variables lined up to make it worth.
How about look at it this way? All right, if you're going to do a checklist, they've got one check, great on the road. That's one check. You do all the other checks, all those other checks, all those boxes are in the Mets' favor. So even if you look at it like that.
Do you remember the Costner film with when he goes out, he's playing for the Tigers, and he takes the ball and throws that perfect game?
Yeah, it's called Perfect. No, it's called.
It is.
I love that movie, by the way. It's his last game of the year, and he closes
his last
everything
one
out.
Of the season, exactly, and he shuts it all out, and he's just talking to himself.
Yep.
And it's really on his shoulders.
Right.
He's after his prime, and I mean, I can see Adam
For
Wainwright.
the love of the game.
That's it.
I love that movie.
So Wainwright, I can see as that. That one game, they're going to give somebody the ball, and they're going to thank him. Man, thanks a lot for your career. We know that you've given us the best that you could, and the most that you could for as long as you can. Do it one more time. Here's the ball, and go get us in the playoffs. And they'll give that guy a parade because they love him like they love Jim Edmonds. They love anybody that's a baseball city right there.
Right.
So I think that given he has a great postseason career, and it's a one game or nothing, and it's hard to take.
I don't know, man. I mean, you're saying one check, and I'm looking at it right now. St. Louis has 43 road checks.
Which means nothing when you get into that's regular season.
It means everything,
means
man.
Nothing.
In a one-game series,
it's that confidence, man. It's bringing a whole different. If I know I can walk into your backyard and take a dump and walk away unscathed like Michigan does against Florida in bowl games.
We're not saying that.
Wow, St. Louis can bring it.
We're not saying St. Louis is going into some chump's friggin' backyard. They're going into the team that went to the World Series last year, that killed the Cubs last year, that had a fantastic postseason until it got to the World Series last year, have the best pitching probably, at least in the National League, undisputed, are on fire, undisputed, and now are at home, and you still have to come into, by the way, the Big Apple.
Big rotten one.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yogi,
am I way off on this?
You're not way off. I'm going to lean on your side. Yogi says, any team can beat any team on any night.
Right.
Correct.
So the Athletics are going to beat, the Yankees in their prime.
Right.
It's just what happens. Brian, you and I have been to games where Curt Schilling was a minus 330 favorite, and Pedro Martinez. I went to Tampa and watched Pedro at a minus 360 lose to Tampa, and maybe I played that game. Who knows? But I was disappointed. And that happens. It's one game. There's a lot of those variables that may not mean so much as a full series.
Right.
But that one game, I wouldn't want to go get on the subway and go play New York.
Well,
in New York.
head to head, they're 3-3. Okay, they've only played each other 6 times this season, which is weird. On the road, St. Louis is 2-1 in the Big Apple. It's not statistically favorable for the Mets to play at home against St. Louis. Just looking at the cold hard facts. Got to go with it. I'm pulling for your Mets. I really am. Closetly, I'm pulling for them because they're hot right now. 7-3 in their last 10. And if you go back the last week or two, I called it by Friday.
That's your 70%. I just said.
I called it by Friday of last week that they'd have that wild card spot. They got it, and I think they're 14-6 out of their last 20. So they're them and the Cubs. The World Series goes through those two teams. I just would not want to be at home playing against St. Louis. I'm sorry. That's not a monster. Me being a Tigers fan and having to run into St. Louis twice in the World Series in the last 12 years, It sucks, man. It really does suck.
Yeah, but we're bringing a good team.
Actually, we ran against San Francisco, one of those two. Sorry.
Yes,
we played against St. Louis in the other one, and I was.
Well, St. Louis has had a good 10 years.
They've had a few.
Well,
tonight, let's move on to NFL football. We have the Bills and Jets.
Yeah.
Jets. For the first time ever, Twitter's going to stream Thursday night football games live. Starting with tonight's game, the Jets and Bills. You can watch that game live, that live feed on my website, briangouldshow.com, or there's a link you can click there, and it'll take you over to the Twitter feed.
I know how I'm going to watch the game tonight.
Yeah, watch it right through that if you'd like. Twitter's going to stream 10 Thursday night games, and the other 6 are going to be broadcasted between the NFL Network and CBS. NBC might pick up 1 or 2 of those 6, but it's still being figured out. How they don't have that figured out, I don't know why. But we've got the Jets at the Bills. Who do we like tonight?
When in doubt, go against the Bills, even though they're the Jets who suck.
Home team's the Bills, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Bills are home.
Oof.
That rookie wideout for the Jets got a lot of love last week. Decker and Brandon, they didn't get the spotlight, I think, tonight on a Thursday night. They're going to abuse that secondary.
So you, final decision, are going with?
23-16, New York.
23-16.
Keeps under 40 as well.
Buffalo's a 1-point dog at home.
That number's been bouncing around. Buffalo was laying 3 points. Now they're getting points. It's a pick 'em at this point.
Yeah. Jay?
My gut.
It's a dog. It's going to be.
I know my
dog. Anyway.
My gut says go Buffalo, just because they're at home.
Right. That's how I feel.
And both the teams, they don't look so hot.
Fitzy.
I'm going to go Buffalo, 20-17.
So McCoy, Shady's going to carry the ball how many times?
620.
Did you say 20-17?
Mm-hmm.
Over under's 40.
Okay.
Yeah, say 23-16.
That's pretty close.
Point underneath.
Yeah, that's really close. Actually, not knowing the number, that's not bad. Evan?
I think as much as I hate the Jets, and you guys know I do, and as not well they've been doing, it comes down to at that point you can at least go to coaching.
Then Rex Ryan's
and say
the man.
Rex Ryan is a nightmare.
Yeah.
You have to automatically say the Bills lose.
AJ Green chewed up the secondary last week. Fair enough. AJ Green doesn't play for Buffalo. Sammy does, and Sammy is a freak of nature and walking around on 1 foot. So who's going to be burning them deep and beating up Revis Island that no longer has inhabitants on it?
It's underwater.
Yeah, Robert Woods.
Global warming.
I mean, that's what you're going to be looking at tonight. Charles Clay. I mean, what are we talking about here? Practice? I mean,
Charles Clay's good.
Charles Clay
if he had a
is
quarterback
good.
to throw him the ball.
I like Charles Clay. I don't think he's going to be the over-the-top threat tonight. And Taylor's going to be that front four that the Jets put out there. Serious. Watch Tyrod running for his life tonight. It's not going to be. You're not going to see a bunch of yardage from either quarterback. Really, I think Ryan's going to give you that. The first.
Yeah, he showed last week that he's back to who we thought he was. Fitzpatrick?
I love that.
No, do you not think so?
You know what? Fitzy's going to have a really good game. I think statistically and fantasy points-wise, he's going to have a really good game. But I think Buffalo's at home. It does come down to coaching. Buffalo's going to win this game. And it's a do or die for both teams. Both teams are walking into this 0-1. And teams that start out the regular season 0-2, only 12% make the playoffs. So you're basically dead in the water at 0-2. This is a must-win.
We are talking about Buffalo, right? If I'm not,
we're talking about
mistaken.
both teams at 0-1.
Yeah, but
this is a must.
Buffalo is. If you're looking at both those teams, Buffalo is the worst team.
I want to say
If
something.
you're looking at both coaches, Rex Ryan is the worst coach.
I'm going to say something that sounds extreme for week 2, but this might be Buffalo's season.
No, I agree with you. I think the Jets. I think Fitzy gets that nice fat contract and he craps the bed with it because that's what most of those guys do.
I don't mean the Jets. I mean Buffalo.
No, Buffalo's going to win this game.
If Buffalo doesn't win this game, Rob Ryan's terrible coach. His defenses always fall apart, in my opinion. And I could just see the whole thing out of control from that point. 0-2 start, losing at home on prime time.
On Monday night, Antonio Brown went bananas. And you remember
Mr. 5'10", 185 pounds.
The preseason nonsense, him and Brandon, when Brandon pulled up with that whip and said, I'll bet you for pink slips, Brown. And that's what he said when he rolled up to the facility when he first got there. And Antonio Brown came out and said, my Rolls is like 4 times your Porsche. So if you really want to talk serious, then let's handle business. And so they squashed it out. They're like, all right, let's do it. And so that bet's out there. That's total yards for the year. Brandon Marshall is an ego monster.
Here's a question for you right there. How is that even legal?
Maybe they do it through a charity. Maybe they give out their car to somebody else. But it was a bet where...
Isn't that gambling? And
No. It's called an accountant and an attorney or an agent that's an attorney.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But the yardage...
Which is typically the agent.
They make enough money to lose count of it. But what they don't lose count of is their pride. And every one of those athletes out there, the majority of them are ego monsters.
Yes.
I am, and I don't play sports. So
And
imagine if I was wearing a jersey, I wouldn't be able to. If it rained, I'd drown. My nose would be so high in
I'd
the air.
say you ripped a page, but you ripped like 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes out of the series Ballers.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal series. And I'm going to give you guys a hookup on my Vudu account so you can watch that.
Oh, I've seen it. I saw the first season was awesome. I haven't seen the new one yet.
I've been watching season 2.
Yeah. Hysterical, by the way.
It's great, and it's greater, the greatest sports series. If you haven't seen it, guys, definitely find a way to...
Yeah, I'm only halfway through the first season.
Oh,
Arliss.
Excellent. Yes.
Have you ever seen Arliss?
I haven't seen Ballers yet.
Yeah, no.
Arliss is another one. It used to be on HBO. God, it's got to be 15 years ago plus. There's another one. Take a look at that one.
Talk about agents. My favorite agent was Ari Gould from...
Oh, yes. Entourage.
From Entourage. Oh, my God. That guy's an odd duck, but, man, that character is sweet. But anyway, my point is that Antonio Brown goes off on Monday night, and Brandon Marshall's looking to keep pace. You know, he didn't do much the first week, and he's going to get beat like a drum in this bet quick. I just see that as a little motivation tonight. Watch for Brandon to get over 100, and I think he's going to get more than 1 touchdown. Look for that prop.
I'm excited to see the Bills play well. When we get back, we're going to touch on some more NFL stuff, a lot of stuff to talk about, my power rankings, and we're going to cover Would You Rather. And, of course, it's Thursday. We get the Throwback Thursday, so get your pen and paper ready. This is the Brian Gould Show Sports Edition. We'll be right back.
Body Mind Wellness Center Studios in Sarasota, Florida. This is 444 Radio.
Hey guys, how we doing? This is Evan from the Bean and Soup Bed Show. I'm here with Rita from J Dubs Brewing Company, and we're in studio. How are we doing today, Rita?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. Hey, I know you have a fantastic brewery over there. Please tell me a little bit about it.
The brewery itself has a tasting room. It has 10 tap lines, so you can find anything that you want, from a light to a dark flavor.
So whatever you like, you can get it?
Absolutely, we got a flavor for you.
Perfect. Also, tell me a little bit about the beer garden I've been hearing so much about.
We got a big backyard out back. We're kid-friendly, we're dog-friendly, so you can come bring your family and friends and just have a good time, play some games, and drink some beer.
Excellent. And then you guys got food?
Absolutely. We got food trucks every day around 5 o'clock. We're open Wednesday through Sunday, noon to midnight.
Excellent. Hey, I hear a rumor that you guys do something cool over there on Wednesdays.
We do. We have free yoga on Wednesday evening starting at 6:30. Come hang out and drink a beer and stretch it out.
That sounds like a great way to spend a Wednesday, I'll tell you. It's 1215 Mango Avenue, Sarasota, Florida, 941-955-2739. And what about social media?
Go to jdubsbrewing.com and you'll find everything right there.
You guys are by far the best brewery in town, and we're proud to have you guys as our sponsor. Come on out there, have a drink with us, and we'll sit around and have a good time.
Cheers, guys.
Evan, we've lived here 6 months and this bathroom still looks terrible. You're supposed to help me remodel it by now.
I know. You just know how busy I am, though.
Busy? We've got to get this done. If I can't do it because I don't have time and you don't have time, what are we going to do?
I know who to call.
Hello, my name is Stephen Dennis. I own a business here in town called Needaman2 LLC. My email address is needaman2@gmail.com. My number is 941-232-2776. Again, that's 941-232-2776.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
What a great idea.
This is Chuck from the BS Show. I wanted to take some time to talk about a great charity organization, the Honor Flight. This organization flies our veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit those memorials dedicated to honor the service and sacrifices of themselves and their friends. Please come out and drink some beers at Hurricane Mike's on the last Saturday of every month from 1 to 6. Hurricane Mike's has a guest bartender at each event, 50-50 raffles, liquor baskets, and silent auctions. The bartenders even donate all the tips they make that day. Hurricane Mike's is located at 2639 Mall Drive in Gulfgate. Last month, Hurricane Mike's raised over $1,100 for the Honor Flight. From everyone here at 444 Radio and Hurricane Mike's, we want to thank you for your support of our vets. How you doing? This is Chuck from the BS Show. I would like to tell you about a great company, Sarasota Sign Machine, LLC, the exclusive sign and print sponsor for 444 Radio. A sign of quality you can trust, located at 601 North Washington Boulevard, celebrating 6 years in business and over 20 years of experience in Sarasota. If you need signs, banners, vehicle magnets, custom design, neon repair, business cards, printing, and more, trust the Sarasota Sign Machine. Look, let's be honest, you have so much more to think about when running your own business. Call us at 941-302-4275. Check us out on Facebook or at sarasotasignmachine.com. A sign of quality you can trust. Tell them the BS Show sent you.
Hey, this is Paulie from the BS Show. When I'm out and about, having too many, it happens to us all, there's only one cab service I call. It's my ride. 941-400-6606. No more 3-time surcharges. No more drivers that don't speak English, don't know where you're going. They pick you up. They take you home safely, clean cars. They're professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. And when you're riding with My Ride, don't forget to mention the BS Show, 20% off your ride. Chucky, on occasion, will have too much.
Not me, Paul.
These guys are the best. They're what you want to call. They will take care of you. 941-400-6606. My Ride. It's not your ride. It's not his ride.
My ride.
It's my ride.
So, Evan, you want to make the other announcement? I know you're excited and happy.
We do have a fantastic new sponsor, absolutely. We are now very lucky to have Rico's Pizza as a sponsor for us. 6547 Gateway Avenue in Gulf Gate. They're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. They've been there 17 years. Jump
anywhere.
online, ricospizza2go.com. Give them a phone call at 941-922-9604. We did find out today that you mentioned the 444 Radio or the BS Show from 444 Radio. You will get 20% off your tab. Give them a phone call, guys, 941-922-9604 or ricospizza2go.com.
Hello, this is Captain Sherman of Paradise Boat Tours, and if you're looking for a great adventure on our beautiful local waters, then we are the boat tour for you. Check out our website at seadolphins.com. We leave 7 days a week from Bradenton Beach Pier on beautiful Anna Maria Island. It's fun for the whole family, and yes, we see wild dolphin 95% of our tours. Paradise Boat Tours. Call us at 941-465-8624. Like us on Facebook or go to seadolphins.com. Here, Flipper.
Hey, everybody. This is Paul and Chucky from the BS Show. Whenever I feel like going out, having a few drinks, relaxing, there's only one place that I go.
It's Hurricane Mike's, Paul.
Oh, that's right. And you're with me, kid.
Yep, 2639 Mall Drive. They got the best staff in town, great local owners, 20 TVs, drink specials every day and every night. Free pool Sunday, Monday, Wednesday nights. It's my personal favorite bar here in Sarasota.
And mine too, Chucky.
Come down and see us.
Just remember, Chucky, you can't drink all day.
Unless you start in the morning, Paul.
And tell them the BS Show sent you.
Gulfgate, Sarasota, it's time to eat, and there's only one place to go. Ham Heaven and Devil Dogs, 2647 Mall Drive in Gulfgate. Try the one-of-a-kind filet mignon sliders or the award-winning Reuben sandwich, voted best in the state of Florida. Ham Heaven and Devil Dogs is open Monday through Saturday till 3 a.m. So after the bars close, you can get some of the best food in Sarasota. Call in and place your order today at 941-923-2514. That's 941-923-2514. Check them out online at hamheavenanddevildogs.webs.com or on facebook.com/HH&DD.
Like that one.
Sure do. Welcome back, guys. This is the Brian Gould Show Sports Edition on 444 Radio.
Good rule of thumb is don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Oh, I love it. Do today what they won't, so tomorrow you accomplish what they can't. I love that saying. You know who said that?
Anybody who was
recently?
No, anybody who was successful?
Ada Johnson. Who?
Ada Johnson?
Ada, yeah. The Rock's mom.
Oh, all right. Cool. There you go.
Very nice woman, by the way. Side note. We're talking NFL news, guys. For the first time, Twitter will be streaming tonight's Thursday night football game, so definitely follow it on Twitter. If you need the link or the direct feed, you can go to my website, briangoldshow.com. It's right there towards the top as soon as you click on it. And you can watch it live or jump on over and watch it on Twitter's live feed there as well. Guys, there is plenty of criticism being directed at the Cleveland Browns quarterback RG3 for the past couple days here. Griffin was injured in Sunday's loss to Philly. He wound up with a broken bone in his shoulder and will be sidelined for a minimum of 8 games. So instead of sliding, he just kind of like went shoulder head first into the defender. The defender was on the sideline and just went at him head on. I've watched that replay a few times, and I'm not sure if Griffin was actually in a position where he could have slid. Because by the time he realized the defender was there had to have been 8 feet away, 6 to 8 feet away at almost full speed. I don't think you want to slide into someone's shoes or someone's shins So he takes that hit and then gets up and plays the next play on 4th down and whatever it was. And you see him just keeping his left arm held tight against his body, and he's in obvious pain. RG3, is he playing again? Or is this the last time we see RG3 as a starter?
I think that might be it.
Well, it depends on who gets hurt when he comes back.
I mean, he's a Cleveland
Brown.
Brown.
He did not need to take that hit. Watch the film. Watch it. Everybody in this room has seen it. Anybody listening has seen it. He did not. It was unnecessary. He was not in a position where he was obligated to take that hit or this. He had a chance to get down, and he didn't. And that was the drawback. He's not a rookie out of college anymore. Washington begged and implored, please slide, learn to slide, keep your career, and expand on that. Get down. We don't need you to turn a 5-yard into a 6-yard. We have a back for that.
You're not a running back, right? And we don't want you to be.
And so he leaves, goes to Cleveland, and they sit him down and they say the same thing. Robert, get down. If you think about it, get down. If you need to think about it, get down. By the way, get down. So what's he do? Stays up. And now what is he doing? Collecting a check on the side, holding the clipboard. Because he may not have the capacity to understand what's best for him. Maybe it's the football kid in him that says, I'm just going to play this one position, and this is all I know. And that's what a lot of them say. That's all I know. This is all I know how to play. This is the only way I know how to play. Well, those guys are, working for, Fox Sun, regionally, covering college badminton because they make those decisions. And he's going to stand behind that. I don't know if he plays again this year.
I'm watching the hit again, and it's just unfortunate because he's in the end zone. He scrambles through the line, and he's running to his right towards the sideline, and he sees the defender literally. Last second, boom, puts his head down and gets walloped. Now it doesn't even look like a hit that you would normally see that would cause an injury like that because it was almost head on.
That's right, because he's made of glass.
Yeah, made of glass. He and you can find that video on my Twitter feed right now, or go to BrianGouldShow.com, and it's there on the Twitter feed. Take a look at it. I mean, it's a face-to-face hit, and he literally hits the defender, then goes right to the next play, throws a incomplete pass, and he's in obvious pain. If you're the Browns, I mean, you pick this guy up, and do you chase him down because, hey, you know what? We put money into you, hoping that you can be something with us. What's the next step as the Browns?
Brian, do you think that Cleveland opened after the close of last year? Do you think when they signed Robert that they were believing that he was the key to their team, the key to the city? Do you think he was the
end all be all? No,
is that
definitely
going to be?
No,
it isn't. I don't believe so either. I think that they were hoping that they had a reclamation project and could turn into a pile of gold, and that didn't happen. Now he's gone, but what did they lose? What did they lose? A guy that no one believed it. Let's be real. No one here drafted him. No one here really thought, forget fantasy.
I picked him up way late as a backup.
Okay.
But then I let him go. He's gone now.
At the beginning of preseason, no one thought he was going to play, let alone, be relevant. And I don't think that he is relevant.
He tried to trade me for him, for God's sake.
And who's their third? Well, is it Anderson? Derek Anderson?
Where's that clown?
No, Derrickson, he's the backup in Carolina.
Who's in Cleveland?
It's McCown.
That's it,
It
Josh.
is McCown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's serviceable.
You
That
know
guy
what?
was a great quarterback.
And I
for a
like
minute.
Josh. Josh isn't a bad kid. He could play.
And they thought about him before they thought about RG3. But RG3 showed a little promise, and what's it going to hurt? They know. They're realists. They're not going to go for the playoffs this year. They're not going to be winning any championships this year. So Robert helps them with another pick, getting a few picks earlier than what they were going to pick without him. I don't know.
So do you just chalk up the season as a loss?
I think they chalked it up at the beginning of the year as a loss. No, be real. What are they going to say? Oh, we're going to go to the promised land with RG3 and Isaiah Crowell and Duke Johnson? Josh Gordon's going to come back after 4 weeks and be the savior? Joe Hayden's going to keep the defense alive? I'm giving you real bullet points here. None of those things are true. So where are they going to get... Gary Barnage is going to blow it up? No, man, no. No, and no. So they...
How dare you?
They're going to win 6 games. And when they win their 6 games, they'll be drafting 5th.
You're giving them 6, huh? Now with this, I mean, McCown's going to do okay. But, I mean, end of the day, if you're a Browns fan, you got... Are you just watching other games? I mean, you're not bandwagon jumping, but you're faithful to your team. But at this point, is the season done? When RG3's healthy again in 8 weeks, quote unquote, do you put the guy back out there, or is McCown's job?
You've got quarterbacks coming out of college this year that are legitimate. No offense to the quarterback class from last year, but that was not.
No, there's a lot of good ones coming out this year.
Yes. And not every year gets to have the Eli and the Raplesberger and the Rivers. It's not every year that you get Pro Bowlers, that are fist deep. No offense to Roethlisberger.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, is that you don't have that last year. This year you do, and Cleveland is going to be one of those top 5 picks. Man, that's the play, is a quarterback. They need a quarterback. They've missed every time on quarterback.
So from a coaching perspective, you play the games how you need to play them. From an outsider analyst looking in, the season's done. Let's worry about next season and drafting a good pick.
Ask around.
And just push through. You're not trying to get a playoff spot.
Jay is a Dolphin fan. Now, if you knew that the Dolphins weren't really not any good, if they were the Cleveland Browns this year, and you knew that you were only going to win 5 games, do you look to the future quietly, behind those closed doors and think, man, you know what? We need a running back. We need a wide receiver. Whatever your spot is that you need, of course you're going to say that in the small circles, because it's not a pipe dream. This isn't a Disney movie. This is reality.
No, they had a little bit of hope, probably thinking that maybe, like you said, with the RG3 thing, maybe. And then
hope is what that is.
And then after one game, that hope went bye-bye. Pryor looks good, though, as receiver.
Yeah,
legitimately. I mean, that's
you know what? That is crazy to see that kid jumping up for the ball and catching it. He does actually look pretty good. Yeah, I was impressed. I won't lie.
Didn't they keep all of their draft picks, and they were all offensive players? Their first 6 picks were all wide receivers, and I mean that's really saying something. They want to do something on offense. They go draft all their guys. They draft all on the offensive side of the football. And Pryor looks good. Josh comes back. Josh is one of the best wide receivers in football, period. Dope or no dope. The guy loves to smoke a little ganja. He loves to smoke a lot of ganja. And he keeps losing his job and is losing his job. On bent knee, he finally, he says, okay, I'm sorry, one more time. And they're only going to give him this last chance. But when he's out on the field, you tell me a wide receiver that's better than Josh Gordon. When you look at those stats, you'll see that Josh is better than every other wide receiver per snap when he's in the football game.
Except for Brown, right now. Right now.
Yeah, right now. So you get that after week 4. And who are you going to have throwing to him? Josh? Josh can throw. Watch Josh Gordon make a difference.
Yeah,
Josh. It's just the rest of the team.
Yeah, he'll do all right. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, there's been a little bit of rumbling, a what-if scenario, and I want to get your guys' feedback on this. What if you were to go back into time 12 seasons ago, because it actually got brought up for a half second, and I didn't know this till yesterday, doing some research on it. There was talks for a half a second, Tony Romo for Tom Brady. And where would things be now? How much is it coaching? How much is it the player? Because when Tom Brady's out, the Patriots still win. Now, in a couple seasons ago, when he had that hyperextended knee, when Romo's out, Dallas can't win. They absolutely stink. Now, hypothetically, if that trade would have went through, changing the whole landscape and history of the NFL, do the Patriots still win those Super Bowls, or is it coaching, or does Tom Brady have something?
Cheating.
Role play that out, okay? Cheating or not, talent's talent, rings are rings, wins are wins, cheating included or not included in some of that. Tony Romo is a New England Patriot and bumps off Bledsoe as quarterback and takes over. And then you have...
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Tom Brady in Dallas. Does Tom win titles in Dallas, or do we not ever...
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think Tom Brady...
Think about that.
Tom Brady's got the rings.
Is it coaching, and how much of it is the player at that point?
If no matter where you put, if you go back to Peyton Manning, wherever you put him, he's going to be a winner. He's going to win. They're going to make them better. I don't see that with Tom Brady ever. So I can absolutely say that you go ahead and you take somebody like Tony Romo, who does make a huge difference to his team, and you say he can't get things done and he's just never got to where he's going to go. He ends up on New England. I see him doing the same thing that Tom Brady does. If you put Tom Brady and Romo together and say, okay, it's just, and they all have the exact same thing, I can see them being at least even.
The biggest thing I see the contrast in the two is focus with Tom Brady and Romo.
Right.
Romo had, he had the talent,
right,
and he had the supporting cast. Brady...
And then he had Jessica Simpson.
Exactly right, though. That's what I'm saying, is that Romo had Jessica, and he loves the limelight, and he loves to be a rock star, and he enjoys that, and that's okay.
Wait a second, you're saying that Tom Brady doesn't with his hair commercials and his
I'm saying that all the commercials that he does and his lifestyle that he leads outside of football
by his wife.
That's right, maybe, or both of them, allegedly. He keeps that under wraps, though. I mean, he can control it. He bridles it. He comes out on the football field, and he's about his business. Tony's thinking about the valet parking, at 10 o'clock later that night, and Tom's not.
Now, not to defend Tom, but to defend Tom, the work ethic is different.
Can you see the difference?
Okay. Not only that, Tom has won with less. I mean, granted, they put up the
Bill Belichick's coaching one with less.
Yeah.
The monstrous, stupid numbers that him and Randy Moss did, because that's not coaching. That's Tom throwing the ball and saying, "Randy, go get the ball, ball." I'm throwing it into
that's Randy Moss, not Tom Brady.
I'm throwing it. I'm going to throw it into the third level and go get the ball and catch a effing touchdown with it. Romo's got Bryant and could have been the next Randy Moss in some aspects, if Romo can stay healthy and egos can stay out of the way. How many egos have you seen in Tom Brady's tenure as quarterback for the Patriots? Rhetorical question. Seriously,
I mean,
you don't see it. You don't see it there. It's Belichick
we're not
coming down with
up in prison, right?
Because Tom doesn't allow that to raise his head, or Bill doesn't.
If you're going to walk around with the big sack on field, guess what? You're not catching the ball because I'm not throwing you the ball. And Romo's just going to, had Terrell Owens there for a minute, and that dude had an ego, and he got catered to.
Gronk doesn't have an ego?
No way. Come on, man.
Terrell Owens? Terrell's grabbing Romo on every play when he was catching the ball. Hey, why didn't you throw to me?
T.O. sucks, but that's T.O.
No, T.O.
He's above and beyond.
T.O. was
ego-wise. I'm saying ego-wise.
His ego absolutely sucks.
He's there to kill his team. That's what he does. It's either about me or I'm gonna kill it.
Everywhere that he went, it was like that. I mean, he had people. I think he had Steve Young for a minute. He had Romo. No one could check that. I think to your point, Brian, that no one could keep that ego under control. Tom keeps all the egos under control in New England, and I think that Tom's the only guy that can call the coach by his first name without being decapitated.
Yeah.
They love each other. They have a good relationship. They respect each other, and nothing happens without Tom checking out on it.
Now take that scenario there.
That's right. Now you go ahead and you take all the areas where you're like, because we're going to bring this up and you say, well, you're haters. How many times has there been cheating brought up and controversy with them? You take all those away where that they couldn't cheat. Let's say they didn't get this information. They don't have the playbooks here. They don't have this. They don't have that. The balls are the way they are. Do they still end up with all those wins? I don't think so.
Who knows? Probably not.
I don't think so at all.
Probably not. Well, all those wins, they'll end up with quite a few because end of the day, talent's still talent, and they'll find a way.
See,
but
I think
will they have as many? No. But to put it in perspective, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, Tom's not going to give you the ball if you're going to be a real jerk face and want to catch the ball all the time.
Right.
And if you don't like it, guess what? I'm pointing over my right shoulder with my thumb right now. Right. there's a guy named Bill Belichick. Now, you take Tom out of that and you put Tony Romo in there. Tony Romo's a puppet. Bill says do A, B, C, and D, and I'm going to walk up to you as Romo and say A, B, C, and D, and you're going to tell me to go F myself, and then he's going to go cry to his coach. Tom going to Dallas and going through 5, 6 coaches in his tenure in Dallas, he's great, but he's being miscoached and doesn't have the backing.
The reason why he is allowed to call the coach because those two have been in bed together for all the cheating, for all this. And and let me tell you, and you could say, well, what's the big deal? But you say, what was the big deal about Deflategate and all that stuff and the deflation of the ball? And I think everybody missed this with New England. When they went back and did the numbers, they crunched all the numbers. They're like, you still have to catch the ball, you still have to do this. You're absolutely right. But when you look at it, how did the team win? When you look back at a softer ball, being able to play with a softer ball, when they broke it down to fumbles, dropping the balls, plays being stuck in somebody's stomach and being able to hold on to the ball, it went the NFL for the 8 years, whatever the hell it was, were right there together. Everybody was pretty much, for the most part, within so many spots, except for New England. Every year, way heads and shoulders above everybody else. That's where the team itself, that's why, they've got nobody. That's because everybody's cheating, and everybody's getting the help from it. And that's what it is.
The Patriots, Tom liking the ball deflated a little bit more than the allowance is, it's granted. We understand that.
Right.
The other quarterbacks in the league came out of their mouth. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers says, I like it like this. I like it like that. It's not all like a bowling ball where you get to have it a certain way, and that's the way it is.
I know, but when you're saying that your quarterback is so important, how important is he? You're saying just strictly him throwing the ball and make a touchdown. That's very important for the quarterback. But you know what? It takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback when every time your guys touch the ball, they're not making that fumble. They're not dropping the ball.
So
they're actually being able to make plays, so you don't have to have the added pressure on.
It was a high-profile deal, and it's New York, and everybody's looking to put Tom Brady on a spit and roast him. They look for it. That's what they look for, and rightfully so. Maybe they have some reason because they cheated. They find the film and find
it was 8 years.
But everybody's been doing it for 8 years.
18
years. Every quarterback that hikes a football or grabs a football likes it a certain way. The reason why that Tom got in trouble is Tom got caught. And other people don't because they didn't go past the line of allowance. But there is a variable.
That's just one thing. The radio headsets for the visiting team go wonky in that stadium more than any other stadium.
I can't defend that. I can't defend that.
I can go on and on.
Breaking into the lockers and stealing the playbooks.
That's happened.
I can't defend those things. Now,
but
stealing a playbook,
all that stuff doesn't bother me nearly as much as the ball. Because that's a softer ball is good for everybody who touches the ball on that team.
But what about Rodgers that likes it harder, and it's the same way then? That's right. I said it out loud. So, he's playing the Bears, and Jay Cutler's got to have that ball the way that Aaron is.
This went a little off path a little bit. Yeah, because we're getting into the cheating and blah, 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 blah. Take all that away. Take it off the table.
But I think you can't because then there's no conversation because they don't have the rings.
I know what you're saying.
Then there's no conversation at that point.
There absolutely is.
Now, I think they still win. I still
because I'm talking before the quote unquote cheating. Okay,
no, their first Super Bowl win was a cheating win.
No kidding.
It was the Rams.
My gosh, guys, you were
so
the
high
on the Brady
came
cheating.
out.
I don't feel they win because of
that's
not
my question. I don't care about the cheating. I'm asking the question.
I'll give you one ring. Maybe.
Does Romo have more rings than Brady at this point?
Absolutely. If they make the ball exactly the way they want, he ends up with a team that he's got. He's got the coaching he's got. Absolutely.
But.
If you're going to say
but
apples
I'm
to apples,
asking apples to apples. Does Romo have more rings than Brady?
If you switch them,
yes.
So yes, because Brady is a quarterback that is a system quarterback. If he isn't in that system, he's nowhere near where he would be now.
Thank you. That's where I was getting.
I would say at least the same amount.
All right, guys, moving on to the power rankings.
By the way, Tom Brady, you're a scumbag and a cheater.
Yeah, you love that word, scumbag.
Cheater.
Scumbag.
You're not cheating, you're not trying.
Power rankings. And I'm going to take it from the top. Number 1 in the NFL, I have Denver sitting there until they get beat. They're still the defending champs, and they're going to hold that number 1 spot.
I don't mind that.
Hold on, I thought what happened last year didn't matter, Mr. Bryan.
They're still the champs.
No. But they both.
I didn't
undefeated.
say that.
It's undefeated.
You have said that before.
I don't remember that.
Of course.
Why don't you pull it up?
If everybody's exactly the same, you've got to pick somebody. They're all tied. you always give the nudge to at least something from that happened in the past.
Yeah,
To be the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Yeah, that's
Bingo.
a big deal.
Woo! Thank you.
Yeah.
Number 2, Pittsburgh. The offense looks sound, and the defense isn't very far behind. They looked pretty impressive Monday night.
They did.
Number 3, I have Cincy. They have to beat Pittsburgh to earn this spot and keep that spot.
Did
if
you
not
just say
move
number
up.
3 is Cincy?
Yes, my
I
power
heard it.
rankings. Yes, I did. Number 4, Green Bay. They would have been higher, but with a close win over Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's. Are you
I
kidding
thought
me?
They might have
Jacksonville's looking
lost a
good,
step.
though.
Since he barely beat the Jets,
Yep.
and you got them
If
above.
it wasn't for a bad kick, they
Wow.
wouldn't have beat the Jets.
Yeah, well,
This is why it's not power
that's
rankings
why
mean
it's
nothing.
my power rankings.
All right.
Right.
I want to hear the rest of your list, power ranker.
Number 5, New England. They would have been higher, if not number 1, if they
Browns
had
number 1.
if they had a healthy Gronk and Brady.
Don't worry, Oakland's probably next.
Not yet.
Or it's in the top 10. I guarantee
it's
he's got it in the top 10.
absolutely.
It's coming.
Yes.
Along with Detroit.
Number 6, Seattle. Again, another team that should be a little bit higher, but with barely squeaking by Miami, they still have a lot of questionable things going on there, and that knocks
Miami
them down
was
a peg
looking
or two.
good.
Can't be that Miami's a better team than people thought. It can't be what it is. Can't be that they won 6 games with 2 different coaches, including one that's never coached before. That can't be what it is, though.
Would you like a tissue?
Oh, yeah. How am I going to fill it up?
Seattle sitting at number 6. Let's see here. Number 7, Arizona. Still one of the best veteran teams in the league. They'll find a way to win in week 2 if they need to, hosting Tampa.
Seattle and Arizona is ranked lower.
Continue.
Then
Number 8, Carolina. The first game of the season, yes, it was a loss due to the kicker missing the game-winning field goal, but look for him to
That's
rebound
right,
in week
because
2.
it was a kicker's fault.
Once
It was
again,
not the team's
my
fault.
power rankings. Number 9, Houston. They looked really good in week 1. A win over Kansas City helps them and is a good confidence
Kansas City
booster.
beat San Diego, so
Right,
Houston,
sure.
Houston beat Chicago.
Continuing.
What
Number
do you
10.
You had the teams wrong.
No, we're good. Houston,
No,
week 1,
I don't understand the
defeated
joke there.
Kansas City.
No, they
No,
didn't.
I'm sorry. No, a
Thank
win
you.
over Kansas City in week 2 will be a big.
There
confidence
you
booster.
go.
Yeah.
Get in my face.
Go
again.
click something over there. Click, click, click.
Oh, okay. Gator theme incoming.
Click, 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 click.
There you go.
Number 10, Oakland. Yes. The Raiders break the top 10 in the power rankings for the first time in years. A solid young offensive core is going to give defenses nightmares all season long. Honorable mentions.
I think the only one getting nightmares is you, buddy.
Honorable mentions. Tampa. They looked really good in week 1. They have a tough road game against Arizona.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
You got teams in there that didn't even win.
Yeah. Well, 0-1, but still better looking than half the other
You
teams out
are
there.
what your record says you are.
Yeah, we'll see about that. They've got a tough...
You're right, because Oakland ain't making the playoffs.
Oh, man, I'd love to bet that T-shirt on your back. Yeah.
You want my shirt? All right.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I have another Dolphin
You just
shirt.
get-
Okay,
Greedy.
so let's put it out there. If the Raiders make the playoffs, then you have to change your profile picture to my Raiders jersey for 30 days. You wearing it. And if they don't, then I'll change my profile picture wearing any Dolphins jersey or T-shirt for 30 days.
strong.
I'm with you with the exception of
It's not offensive, but it is what it is. I'll
I'm
own
fine
up
with
to
that.
it. I've done it on 2 different occasions.
With the exception-
I've had to wear a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey on 2 different occasions and had to change it.
I think it gets worse than that, boys. I think on top of it, because you want to say it hurts. It's not just a picture, because it sucks wearing it. Don't get me wrong, it kills me.
No tattoos, buddy. Nice
No.
I know where you're going.
No. Loser has to burn their shirt.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you're such a baby. Really? Why?
No, that's not a baby move because the shit's expensive. I'm not buying my stuff over again.
What it is,
Hey,
baby.
if you buy a Raiders shirt for me to burn, then I'll burn it. Yeah. Oh,
How does
now
that work for me?
How does it work for me?
I'm not in the bet.
I'm burning it for you.
I mean, it sounds like you're trying to get out of
Anyways,
the bet.
I've got Tampa as an honorable mention. They look pretty good in week 1. If they pull off a week 2 win on the road again, then obviously they need to be in the top 10. Minnesota looks pretty good as an honorable mention. And the Giants, solid win in crazy Dallas in week 1. Week 2, they host New Orleans, so look for a lot of points in that game. Let's move on to the Would You Rather segment here.
Would I rather punch Brian in the face or kick him in the face?
Not me. I just
Would
want to burn
you
the shirt.
Would you rather play Alabama or Ohio State in your conference title game at the end of the season?
Ohio State.
Agreed.
Okay.
What kind of question is that?
Schmucks. Number 2, would you rather see your team lose by not having enough timeouts left and the clock run out on you, i.e. Dallas, Or would you rather have your team get beat by a 2-point conversion on the last play of the game, i.e. New Orleans?
I'd rather get the 2-point conversion. At least that somebody has to beat me, and I'm not beating myself.
That's right.
Murdoch,
Yeah, I agree.
Jay, okay. Number 3, would you rather have Tony Romo start for you off of an injury or RG3 start?
Tony Romo.
Oh, Tony Romo.
This year, Tony Romo.
Okay. Would you rather have a marquee player kneel during the national anthem or have them sit during the national
Kneel,
anthem?
because you still show respect when you kneel.
Yeah. It could be a prayer.
Okay. Would you rather have a no-hitter get broken up in the 9th, or would you rather have a shutout given up late in the last minute of the 3rd period in hockey?
No hitter hurts.
Yeah, I mean, shutout, you can still win.
Right.
Yeah, a no-hitter, I don't want that ever.
So you'd rather give up a goal with 1 minute to go?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
If I win by 10, who cares? The W's still a W.
Would you rather start Jonathan Quick or Ben Bishop against Team Canada in the championship game of the World Cup of Hockey?
I wish that's
goaltender,
goalie, right?
yeah.
I take Bishop all day long.
I take Bishop.
Yep.
No? I'm pretty sure that was pretty...
This is coming from the guy that put Seattle and Arizona number 8 and 9 and Tampa at like 3.
Here's the issue. You said he knows
3?
more about hockey than anybody you know, right?
That's true.
It is
That's
a little
why
bit...
I'm clowning him a little about it.
Here's my issue, though. I know very little about hockey. I'm just getting into it, I say, and I still know the right answer in that question.
Brian doesn't like the Bishop answer.
You don't like Bishop?
Bishop's not a bad choice, but Quick's the better goalie.
Bad choice?
He's not a bad choice.
He's not a bad choice.
That's
okay.
why he's sitting the bench to Quick for the whole thing. Number 7, would you rather have Nick Saban or Jim Harbaugh coach your favorite NFL team in the Super Bowl?
NFL?
Yes. They've both served terms in the NFL.
Harbaugh, because Saban couldn't win in the NFL. So if he somehow got there, I would go over Harbaugh.
I would say no. I'd say Saban right now because Saban in the last 5 years has been. I'd have to go Saban as much as I'd have to shoot myself in the face. Shoot myself in the face.
Yeah, they could both be on either side. I don't know that I have
pick one.
A preference.
Well, no, you got to pick one. Your team, Washington's in the Super Bowl against New England. And who's coaching?
And Dumb Gruden has had a stroke, so they've now recruited. Your choices are.
No kidding.
And New England's cheated. They've got softballs.
So I want to get this
They've
straight.
watched your walkthrough footage, blah, blah, blah,
has
blah.
taken all the air out of the balls.
Yes.
And no one else in the league has.
And you're down 52-0 before the game starts. Because it's that freaking horrible. Yes. Who's coaching your team in the Super Bowl? Groot or
I'll take
Saban?
I'll take Harbaugh.
There, okay. Number 8, would you... Okay. Well, we kind of already talked about it. Would you rather the Browns chalk up the season and look forward to next season, or would you rather see the Browns push for the playoffs this season?
Always push for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can actually. And people talk about this all the time that some teams they get behind and they're playing for picks at that point. I don't think so. They're still pro football players. They've got egos like you're saying, giant. They don't care if it comes down to they get a better pick if they lose this last game, they're going to still try to win that game. That's just the way it is.
It's too early in the year for them to pack it in.
Yep.
You know, there's still some time left.
Yeah. What if they win the next 5?
Be a professional.
You know?
But look in baseball. You know, after September rolls around, the teams that are not playing for anything, they pack it in. You don't get the 100% that you would get normally out of those players because not everybody is a consummate professional.
Right.
Not everybody's Evan Longoria that can go out there and at least pretend to care. That's the reality.
And also, make no mistake, in baseball, there's a lot more games to have to play. You get bored quicker. You're already behind the 8 ball. You like, this sucks. Where on a football game, it's only 60 minutes for the week, and you get to go out there and you could still kill people, which, by the way, is fun. and no matter what happens, you don't want to look like the baby on the field, you know, not doing your job.
They use that as their motivation at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We're going to base our decisions
I'm gonna ruin
after
your year.
the year based on how you guys play for the last quarter of the year. That's what NFL, you know, that's what those teams do.
And NFL also, you could be on the worst team, period, and have a horrible, horrible year, but your last 3 games of the year, you killed it. Mm-hmm. They still look at that, and when it comes time to write checks, they go, "Oh yeah, but
exactly
you were
right.
on a horrible team, but you had a horrible first half of the year, but."
Mm-hmm. They pull you in the office and per coach sit you down with your film and say, "We talked to you on the 12th week and told you that you had 4 games to show us why you're going to be on this team.
Right.
And if you act like a fool, you're going to get treated like a fool, and you're not on the team next year.
And 1,000 yards is 1,000 yards. It doesn't matter when in the season you got it done. You got 1,000 yards.
All right, so super long, elaborate story short.
I don't remember the question.
Would you rather see the Browns chalk it up or push for the playoffs?
Push for playoffs.
Playoffs?
Every fan wants their team to do well.
What would you rather see them do? Forget the fans. I'm asking you.
I don't care
Well,
about
I
the
want to
Browns.
see them play well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it doesn't matter what they do. They're gonna be pushing for a draft.
Unless-
I mean, what I think they're going to do and what they're going to do are going to be.
Yeah.
This only matters, really makes a difference when I have to worry about it for fantasy football. Then I'm like, please lay down.
I think McCown will play his heart out. He always does. But that's
There's a handful of guys.
Probably
Joe
Pryor-
Thomas is one of the best offensive
Yeah.
linemen in football. He can't wait. I mean, I can't speak for him, but imagine being on that team with 8 different quarterbacks. He hasn't missed. Oh, by the way, Joe Thomas has never missed a snap in his professional career. That's 11 years.
Poor kid.
Hasn't missed a snap. One hike of the ball, he's been on the field every time. With that trash that's been out there.
Now, Cleveland, hey,
Maybe he's the
want to make it
problem.
better immediately? Why don't you go ahead and throw Tebow up there? It'll be all right. That's the way to get it.
It couldn't hurt.
I'm telling you.
You want to sell some jerseys?
Yeah, absolutely. And get the team, get the
mistake by
teams
the lake.
pumped up, ready to play. So,
All right, moving on. Would you rather see Alex Rodriguez get one last shot on a baseball team or call it a career and retire? And the crowd goes silent.
depending on
Retire.
who picks him up, I would like A-Rod to finish. I'd like to see him again play.
He's so close to a
I
couple
would,
records.
I would as
Yeah.
well. He's close to the records. He wasn't a
He can be driven.
complete jerk face. You know, his teammates don't hate him. Allegedly, you know, he and DJ had some issues, but I'd like to see him come back.
He had a bad run there, and I'd like to see him come back for another team.
Yeah.
I really would. He's
It'd be
close
good
to
for
a
baseball.
He's good. He's good. Exactly, and he's close to next on the list for the home run.
I'm about to
overall
say something
record.
that might drive you nuts here, but I wouldn't mind to see him finish. Come on, the Rays this year.
You know what?
and get some points.
That's
for us.
okay. I'm all right with that
Yeah.
because there was some rumbling because they need a DH there.
Yeah.
Why not bring in an experienced guy that knows what he's doing and talking
Mm-hmm.
about?
And who knows? He has an okay finish to the year. He bonds with the guys. Everybody's having a good time. Bring him in for at least the first half of next year and see how it goes from there. I'm
See
fine
what
with
happens.
that.
Yep. Yeah. Why not?
Barry Bonds did it in Miami.
Yeah.
He's able to show his baseball stuff to those guys under a different role. He still gets to be in baseball.
And that dude charges the mound. He charged last
He
night
likes
during
his
that
job.
final.
He enjoys it.
He was running out there.
And God help anybody if his bat warms up.
And those guys buy into that. How many years do you think it's going to be for Barry to actually connect with those kids? And that's going to be a special bond that those players have. Professionals that make millions of dollars could give a flying flip what you think about them. Go ask the old ball coach that when he went to Washington, Bruce Smith was going to throw him in a garbage can.
Yeah.
You don't get to talk to me like that, says Bruce Smith.
Right.
You got Barry Bonds that goes Singletary on him. It's like, look, I'm a baseball player just like you. I've been around a little bit. Why don't you I want to kick you some knowledge. Open your eyes and shut your mouth. And they love him. He was hugging Fernandez last night. Mm-hmm. The guy that
I saw that.
he got
Yeah.
his head almost taken off a few times.
Funny you bring that up.
Giving hugs and kisses to him, man. They love each other.
The Bruce Smith reference, because for a moment there, Washington had 4 of the greatest athletes playing in their city all at the same time. They had Bruce Smith / Deion Sanders. They had Jordan and Yammer Yager all playing in that city all at one time. 4 of the greatest athletes ever.
Yager's still playing now, isn't he?
Yes, he is in Florida. Yep.
It's a nice senior league.
Yeah. And then the last one, number 10. Would you rather? Okay, Texas and Oklahoma's tenure is coming to an end in the Big 12 in 3 seasons. Would you rather see them go to the Pac-12 or the Big 10 at the end of their tenure?
I don't care. Makes no difference to me whatsoever.
Oh, it does. It will.
No, and this is the reason why.
They're leaning towards one way, but it does make a difference. Now that we're intertwining schedules, it's making a difference.
If it's going to intertwine anyway, I'm going to have to play anybody anyway. So I'm just going to, as an SEC guy, you focus on the SEC and kill everybody else you see. I don't care.
And I brought it up. You missed it earlier. SEC announced their schedule for next season.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, Michigan, week 2 in Arlington. There's some more intertwining between
First
the SEC and
time
Big 12
ever.
or Big 10. A lot of intertwining of schedules moving forward.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if I get to beat up on Texas, that'd be fun. It'd be more exciting.
So
for
you want
the
to see him in the Big Ten?
I mean, but
would you rather see him there or the Pac-12?
I'm telling you, because even though I'm going to get to play Michigan regular season, I don't care. I need that W.
Yep.
Now, are we excited because we're going to go see that game?
Right.
That's fine. But that's just strictly as football fans. I'm excited to see a team. Does it make a difference to me? Not at all. Because my number one thing, and will always be my number one thing, get through the SEC, get the championship, and then the hell with everybody else on the planet.
Those conference, they care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Pac.
That's where it matters.
The Pac-12. You have Stanford, and UCLA. USC, Washington,
Colorado, Utah.
I think though, if I had to
yeah.
pick one, it's more exciting for the Big Ten.
The Big Ten needs more. I don't say they'll be legitimized with that, but it helps them. The Iowas and the Iowa States, the Northwestern. Oh, man, you have great teams.
Is it better to split them in half and send them
I
one
think
each?
that you could send a little this way and a little that way because both of those conferences.
It'll be a package deal.
They need some help. Both of those conferences need something to solidify them being a legitimate conference.
Now, is Nebraska excited about this, or they're left holding the bag, or say, hey, now we don't have to worry about it. We are going to be the top of this very quick now. The Florida State and the ACC situation.
Mm-hmm.
We've got no competition. Now I get to win the ACC for 20 years in a row.
That's what's going to happen. These two are going to move out. Texas and Oklahoma move out.
Nebraska's excited about that.
No, Nebraska's in the Big Ten. They're not going anywhere. Florida State and
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Who was the other one? Florida State and Ole Miss might take over the Big 12 spot.
The styles are different as well. Let's talk about that for a moment. Texas. Yeah.
You think Florida State's going to leave the ACC?
That's what's rumored.
There is absolutely no way.
No. This is what I'm reading. I know you're saying that, but this is what's being rumored. Texas and Oklahoma are looking at the Big Ten, and this is by 2019.
Right.
Florida State, and I believe it might have been Louisville or it might have been Ole Miss. One of those two will jump. Oh, it was Louisville. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was Florida State and Louisville are leaving the ACC to go to the Big 12.
SEC. Yeah.
They play more of that. Louisville plays that kind of football.
Right.
The SEC has a stamped way of playing football. Every single of those teams.
Right.
And the Pac-10 or the Big 12, the Big 10, and they play different. Texas has a certain play style. If you're going to stick them in with Northwestern and Iowa, man, that's a contrast of style. One is going to adapt to the other.
Something's going to
because
have to
it's a
give.
stepchild coming into the family.
And then the recruiting and everything else that opens the doors up for.
For me, I would like to see Oklahoma and Texas come at the Big Ten and dominate, because then I could laugh at you all day long. So that'd be fine with me.
I mean, Oklahoma playing Michigan State every year. That defense against that offense. It's something
Texas
new.
will eventually get back to being
they'll
Texas.
catch up. Yeah,
they will eventually get back to where they're going to be, and then I'm not going to have to talk about. Ohio State like we're going to have to talk about it anymore. Michigan's going to start taking on the neck because you're going to get those Longhorns in there and say, now we can actually play. Now we get to go up there and put ourselves against these guys all the time.
And Michigan, that power pendulum's kind of swinging towards them. I hate to say that with him in the room. The fact is, man, that pendulum's swinging that way, and it's a heavy pendulum. Whoever has that leaning on their side tends to have that for a few years. Go ask Ohio State how good they felt for the last decade. They're losing some of that grip.
See, I think that's good. I think it turns out to be okay for the SEC, because now the Big Ten will have some guys in there that can beat the crap at each other and evens them out. So now they don't have their number 1 and 2 at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I constantly go to the ACC. ACC occasionally has 2 teams. Always has one, and it's always Florida State. Then Clemson occasionally, you got somebody stepping up depending on who's playing.
UCF and USF have both been petitioning to go to the other conference.
Right.
So
UCF, they were supposed to. Now, 20 years they're supposed to be a powerhouse already, and they haven't done jack.
Well,
South Florida, though, I do like them. They've had some bad situations.
They're on the Big 12 radar too.
Yeah.
UCF. So that's another team that could move over there. And just with the Big 12 losing possibly Texas and Oklahoma when their contracts and TV contracts are up, but look at what they might obtain rather, getting a Florida State, a Louisville, a UCF, and there's a handful of other schools.
Texas,
they might be making a lateral move and still be up there.
Texas, I wouldn't mind seeing the SEC for Christ's sake, because I know they're coming back and they'd be a lot to have fun with them. Oklahoma, okay, I mean, I don't care, but I think just strictly because I'd like to see the Big Ten get beat up a little bit more. The Pac-12, I mean, they do fine over there. I think immediately they show up, just upper. I could see them in the top 6 or 7 when they first get there. Oh no, it's going to be more than that, because you're talking the Pac. Right now, you got
the Pac. The Pac
needs
more competition than the Big Ten does. The Big Ten already has, a handful of teams that every year are contenders. So,
all right, guys. Well, then
everybody got a pen? Does anybody need a pen?
Sounds like general consensus. We'd like to see him in the Big Ten, but if it goes to the Pac-12, it's not the end of the world either.
Well, we think it's probably better for the Pac-12, actually for us anyway, because then there's somebody to actually watch play each other.
Right.
And the Big Ten, we'd like to see it because it would hurt the teams we don't like. The SEC guys would hurt the teams we don't like more.
There you go.
Which is fine with me.
When was the last year? What was the year that USC had Lendale White and Reggie?
2003.
And it's been 13 years since you've had a relevant team come out of the Pac.
Yeah, they beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl for their share of the
national
championship.
What other team have you been scared of in 13 years up from the West Coast?
Not since then.
And don't say that out loud to Luck, and don't say that out loud to those guys.
No.
Oregon,
Palmer, all those guys.
Okay,
Oregon put out some great teams last few years.
On the back end of it.
But
Oregon's
you know what? They made my overrated list because they've always come in strong, and then where'd they finish?
To be feared, I'm talking about a juggernaut, and Oregon. I think to your point that they did turn themselves into that juggernaut of that conference.
There was 3 years where the Ducks
Flash.
were.
They loved
they were good flash. Now the first year that they did the playoff, they were in there, and they ran into an Ohio State team that.
Right.
They ran into Florida State, I believe, and Florida State was like, "Yeah, okay, we got this."
They win 65-23 every week until they play something legitimate from the SEC. Or
we're,
the ACC.
We're from the SEC, so the West Coast means nothing to us. I mean, they don't bother us. But,
they're there.
I mean,
they're just.
But
there.
for the most part, not as the Big Ten. So
keep winning your Rose Bowls.
That's right.
That's it. I hate to
Which
say
they
it.
won't even invite us in. I mean, Georgia was supposed to go in 08. They were supposed to go in there, and instead they made Georgia play Hawaii. And remember, Hawaii had the best year they've had forever and a day, and they got dismantled by 50-some-odd points. Unfortunately, we lost
beat
to
so
you
bad
guys.
they took them down to Division II, I think.
Yeah, we got you. We unfortunately lost to you in Orlando, but we ended up getting the Heisman that year, so it was okay.
All right, we're going to do, since it's Thursday, we're going to close out with the Thursday throwback. This is a game that I like to play with everybody. I give you 3 clues about a sports entity, whether it's a team or an individual player, and you got to try to guess who it is. Just to give you a heads up, all 3 of these are individuals and not teams. So here we go with our first Thursday throwback. Clue number 1. My alumni is now a Big Ten school. Number 2, I played in Arizona Cardinals, the New York Jets, and the Cincinnati Bengals from 1984 through 1997. I retired as a Bengal. That's a little bit extra for you. Number 3, my real name is Norman Julius Blank. Taking it from the top, my alumni now plays in the Big Ten as a Big Ten school. Number 2, I played for the Arizona Cardinals, the New York Jets, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I retired as a Bengal. Number 3, my real name is Norman Julius Blank, but I go by a nickname. Nickname, last name, Blank. I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about that, and then I'll move on to the next one. If you need me to repeat anything, say so.
Yeah, I'm screwed on this one.
All right, go to the next one.
Okay, your 4th hint, even though I shouldn't.
No, we did this. We all got him last week, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm going to make these."
No, I'm going to make him tough. You know what?
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm going to say he played in a Super Bowl, and I'll leave it at that. I was going to say his position, but it'd be a dead giveaway. Okay, number 2. I played 1 season for the Philadelphia Phillies in 1959. Number 2, I have 3 World Series rings with 2 different teams as a manager. Number 3, Roar of '84.
The second hint was that he played on 3 different teams.
Number 1, I played 1 season for the Philadelphia Phillies in 1959. Number 2, I have 3 World Series rings as a manager with 2 different teams. Number 3, Roar of '84. Evan, you should get this. I'll leave it at that.
He doesn't get anything, though.
Yeah. You should get it.
Those are the ones that scare me, the ones that I should get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's the next one?
Okay. Last but not least, Throwback Thursday, guys. I appeared the second most on the cover of Sports Illustrated, 40 times, behind Michael Jordan's 50. Clue number 2. I let The Rock use my nickname. Number 3. One of my most famous quotes. It's not bragging if you can back it up. Number 1. I appeared on Sports Illustrated's cover the second most, 40 times. Number 2. I let The Rock use my nickname. And number 3. One of my most famous quotes. It's not bragging if you can back it up. Made these a little tougher this week.
I'm 0 for 3.
Okay, let's get this done.
The Rock.
All right, let's go over the first one.
You drawing a blank?
Oh, no.
Are we done? If we're done, put pens down. If not, I'll give you a second.
Give me
Okay.
a second on The Rock.
Doom, 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 doom.
Son of a gun.
Doom, 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 doom. Do, 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 doom, doom. Yes, thank you, Jay. Doom, 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 doom,
All right.
doom, bomb, bomb.
I had a little bit better than that music. I
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, Jesus. Turn that crap off. All right, number 1, who do you guys have?
No one.
No one.
You said 84 to 97 for...
Yes.
Yeah.
He played for the Bengals twice, actually. He started there and ended there.
I had...
Wow, am I going to have a sweep? No one's going to get this? Go ahead. Who do you have?
No, I had Icky, but he played...
No.
he was
I
playing for
started out with
97.
the Cincy Bengals, and I ended as a Cincinnati Bengal. My name is Boomer Esiason.
Oh, son of a
Jesus.
gun.
Yep, he played for Maryland.
You should have
Maryland's
said
now in the Big
hint.
Ten.
Son
He
of
is
a
a
gun.
huge
I was gonna
douchebag on
gonna
TV
say-
as an analyst.
I was going to say quarterback, but I figured that'd give it away.
Oh, wow.
Number 2, I played 1 season for the Phillies, have 3 World Series titles on 2 different teams, and the roar of '84 is... Jay, if you don't have this, no? Evan, if you don't have this,
I don't have
I'm shocked. Pete Rose and I talked about his favorite manager of all time that coached him.
Oh, Sparky Anderson. God
Sparky
damn
Anderson, yes.
Damn it.
Damn it, roar of '84.
You know, I was thinking about that too, but I'm like, that can't be right.
Yep, that's it. He only played 1 season
That's
as a Major League Baseball player. He had 39 RBI. He batted .218 his one and only season.
There you go.
All right, last but not least, who do you guys have? Second most on Sports Illustrated cover. He let The Rock use his nickname, and it's not bragging if you can back it up.
Heard that. I've heard that soundbite more than once.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no.
Anybody?
I wrote Gretzky down.
You're close. Great one is the nickname that he got to use, but he didn't get it from
That's
Gretzky.
why- oh, man.
Who had it before?
I had the
Mr.
Gretzky
Float
deal.
like a butterfly.
Muhammad Ali?
Sting like a bee, yes. He asked Muhammad Ali if he could use the nickname The Great One, and he said yes.
Oh.
He
You
appeared...
said- I heard The Rock.
The
So I
Rock,
thought-
Yeah,
what's-
The
I was
Rock's
thinking
nickname
People's
is The Great
Champ.
One. The Great One.
The Rock is the nickname of Dwayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, The Rock is the character, but his nickname is the Great One or the People's Champ. Yeah, that's another one, the
no
People's
kidding.
Champ.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
People's Champ, I would have gotten a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's another nickname.
Well, I scored
yes.
1, so...
Yeah. 1?
Who did you get?
I got Anderson.
You got Sparky Anderson.
Oh, you got Sparky Anderson?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't. I'm over. God.
Made him a
and
little
the
tougher.
lead grows a little more.
Wow, you're up by 2. Okay.
That's
Yes.
better than 1.
That's just a tough day, buddy. That's a tough day.
Well, guys, another great show, another great episode of the Brian Gould Show Sports Edition
Sparky.
here on 444 Radio. Tomorrow, some more football. We'll talk some fantasy football and our NFL picks and college picks moving on. On behalf of Jay, Evan, and Murdoch, I'm your host, Brian Gould. This is the Brian Gould Show Sports Edition on 444 Radio. See you tomorrow.